Stadium on the campus of The Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. It's Ohio State football. Today, the Ohio State Buckeyes meet the University of Illinois Fighting Illini. Hello, everybody. I'm Jack Kramer, along with Paul Warfield, speaking to you from Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Today, the Bucks get set to tangle with Illinois, a team which last year, Paul, went some 80 yards in 30 seconds to beat the Buckeyes 17-13 in the fourth quarter. They've got an outstanding offense.
They have a great passing attack, which they really feature. Quarterback Jack Trudeau has done a fine job throwing the football. Number 2 selection in the Big Ten Conference, all Big Ten team last year, but he's throwing to David Williams, who is a fine receiver. He leads the conference in pass catching. He's right up at the top in the nation. He's changed his identity a little bit this year from a possession receiver to a big play receiver, so the Buckeyes are going to have to be on their toes against those two.
And this is a good defensive team, too. Mike White rebuilt the front line. The strength goes in the secondary.
It is a very fine secondary, and it's led by All-American Craig Swope, who does it all. He hits hard, he blitzes, he sells tickets, he does everything for Illinois.
Well, we'll be keeping a close eye on quarterbacks Tom, Zach, and Trudeau today. We've established 40% as the third down passing conversion rate these two quarterbacks must have to guide their offenses successfully today. So we'll be keeping you abreast of how Tom, Zach, and Trudeau do in that category all afternoon. The teams are on the field. We're set now for the kickoff of today's game between Ohio State and Illinois.
Broadcast and production of Ohio State football is provided in part through a funding grant from City Loan and Savings of Lima, with offices throughout the state of Ohio. And transportation services have been provided by Trans-Midwest Airlines, serving 7 Midwest cities with scheduled passenger service.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ohio Stadium and Ohio State football.
Well, we're just seconds away from the toss of the coin here at Ohio Stadium. Sunshine is sifting through a very thin overcast overhead. No rain in sight. Should be a good afternoon for a critical Big Ten Conference game between the Buckeyes and the Illini. Paul, neither team at this stage in the race can afford another conference setback.
You're absolutely right, Jack. A loss at this stage of the game probably really means the end of a team's hopes for winning a Big Ten title. So both teams are in a very precarious position. They both need a win today to stay alive.
Buckeyes lead in the series 48-20. There have been 4 ties.
And number 15 from
Illinois' last win over OSU was in 1967 by a score of 17-13. I should say their last win here in Columbus. And last year, the Illini won by that same score, 17-13, over in Champaign.
Illinois will receive a defending South Bowl. Illinois will pick up.
The referee for today's game is Otho Courts. Umpire Ed Hassel. Head linesman is Don Langlow. Line judge Tom Hoffman. Field judge Otto Pulls. Side judge is George Solomon. And the back judge Mike Nevin.
95, Guy Tiefentiller.
Well, the Buckeyes will be on defense first, Paul. Spangler preparing to kick off.
Left end.
And we'll get to see this vaunted Illini passing attack, which is displaying a more formidable running game this year than in years past. Tom Zach is 16th in the NCAA passing efficiency category, 67%. Of course, he's slipped in that department in the last couple weeks.
At safety, number 20.
Paul, not only can Trudeau throw the football, this Rooks is a fine running fullback.
Well, Mike White has tried to balance out the fine passing attack that Illinois has demonstrated over the past several years with good, hard running. And I think in Thomas Rooks, you have a good running back who is not going to break a lot of long plays for you, but he's steady. He picks up the very tough yardage. He's good coming out of the backfield on the pass, and so he figures very prominently in their passing attack. And he is really an all-purpose running back.
How do you defense the Illinois passing game? A lot of short dink passes. They spread the defense from sideline to sideline. Do you just give Trudeau the 3- and 4-yard dump passes? Is there a way you can prevent those?
Well, you really don't give up anything if you don't have to in a football game, and it's going to be very difficult to defend this kind of passing game because it is a possession type of passing game, and yet they maintain control of the football. I'm sure Ohio State will come with more blitzes this afternoon in effort to pressure Jack Trudeau and not give him the kind of time to throw the football that he would like to enjoy. Additionally, perhaps if the Ohio State defenders will play a little bit tighter on the receivers.
Mike White's got a 1-3 mark against the Buckeyes. Of course, the victory came last year. Well, we thought we were informed that the Illini would be receiving the kickoff, but they're not. The Buckeyes will get it first. Mike White 31-20 with a tie at Illinois. So it's Ohio State on offense first. And the kickoff by Chris White, the coach's son, is about 3 yards beyond the end zone, and the Buckeyes will start 1st and 10 from the 30.
All right, the offensive line for the Ohio State Buckeyes is Graves, Lachey, Loudermilk, Scott Zielinski, recovering from a pulled hamstring, and Mark Karowitz. The receivers are Groza, Carter, and Lanise. And rounding out the backfield is Mike Tomczak at quarterback, Keith Byers, and Roman Bates.
Groza at tight end. Zielinski playing a little hurt, but he's in there to start the game at tackle. Byers takes the pitch out, surges across the 30 to the 33 or 4. Defensively for Illinois, Ina, Baum, Tifa Tiller, and Gibson up front. Sebring, Ellsworth, and Gleamy are your Illinois linebackers. And in the secondary, Ayers, Edwards, Swope, and Heaven. Second down and just under 7 for a first down for the Buckeyes. Byers. With Heath Byers lugging the football, the Buckeyes get a first down. 1st and 10 at the 41.
Buckeyes starting early, establishing the flow with Keith Byers running in between left guard and tackle. Big hole through there as you see Keith Byers fighting his way into the Illini backfield and making good yardage on the play.
Byers is 1st in the nation in rushing, 1st in all-purpose running, 2nd in scoring. Byers sidestepped the first penetration by the Illini. It was Dave Edwards. Edwards got a piece of him, enough to upset him at the 42, a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Well, we see Hutchinson is checked in at tight end for Ohio State for Groza. John Hutchison in for Groza, tight end. Played his high school football at Waterloo in the state of Ohio. He's from Atwater, Ohio. That play picks up absolutely nothing as Sam Ellsworth, a backup lineman on defense a year ago and a linebacker this year, plugs up the hole, and Roman Bates is stopped for virtually no gain. So it is 3rd and 9. The Buckeyes, who had been getting first downs on 3rd downs at a clip of about 60% heading into last week's game, fell down in that department somewhat. This is Woolridge. He's upended at the 44-yard line. Buckeyes will have to kick it away. As on 3rd and long, the Buckeyes elected to send the tailback Woolridge outside left tackle. And the Illini hold. And Ohio State will have to punt it. Dwayne Pugh made the tackle on Woolridge to set up the punting situation. Tupa will punt after getting the long snap from Whitmer. Tupa with 17 punts, averaging 47.5 in the punting department, as long as 64. Good snap from Doug Whitmer. A high, beautiful kick, which hits inside the 10, goes on into the end zone. 56-yard boot by Tupa, no return. So the freshman from Brecksville, Ohio, backs Illinois up at its 20.
All right, the Fighting Illini offensive line is Dennis, Schulte, Miller, Babyar, and Jariga.
Two receivers split to the left. Out of your picture to the bottom of the screen. This is Rooks, outside right guard. And the herky-jerky running style by Rooks nets about 3. Dave Morrill from Centerville and Anthony Giuliani from Westerville make the tackle, helped by Thomas Johnson.
Okay, the Illini offensive line is Dennis Schulte, Miller, Babyar, and Jariga. The receivers are Williams, Bozo, and Grant. And the backfield, Trudeau, Rooks, and Wyckoff are the other running backs.
Mark Pfister has just checked in for Thomas Johnson. Draw play, Rooks. Gets to the outside, shy of a first down, up across the 28. Larry Kolick, who had an outstanding game a week ago against Purdue, stopped the ball carrier short of the first down. For Ohio State defensively, Crecelius, Giuliani, and Morrill along the line of scrimmage. And Houston, Byron Lee, Kolick, and Thomas Johnson are the linebackers. Sonny Gordon, William White, Greg Rogan, and Terry White in the secondary. Thomas Johnson still on the sideline. Perhaps received a scratch to the eye as Rooks picks up the first down on 3rd and 1.5. First down Illini at the Illinois 33. We played just over 4 minutes, no score in the first quarter. Mark Pfister made the tackle for the Bucks as Thomas Johnson checks back in. And Pfister comes to the sideline. So far, the Illini attack led by Trudeau, rather conservative. They haven't gone airborne yet. Trudeau spirals one, complete. Across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Cap Boso, the tight end, snared it. Gain of about 8 yards on the play, perhaps 9.
Jack Trudeau is very adept at picking up his receivers. He'll look for Williams most of the time, but when he wants to go to the short possession, it's number 82, Cap Bozo, the man that he'll come through. Thomas Johnson, fine inside middle linebacker of the Buckeyes, number 98, the man who made the stop.
Trudeau last year against the Buckeyes was 24 for 38. Trudeau threw for 234 yards. Rooks lunging across the 44 to the 45. He's got a first down. Dave Morrill submarined him.
Thus far, Jack, Illinois and Rooks have been running almost exclusively to the right side of the line where they have those fine 2 offensive linemen in Jariga and also their fine guard who does an outstanding job.
Jariga and Babyar, both all Big Ten last year. Jariga was on some All-America teams preseason this year. Williams on the catch, coming across the middle. A flag is down in the Illinois backfield. Holding coming up against the Illini. Kelvin Bell was in the Buckeye secondary on the last play. He made the tackle as Williams ran one of his favorite routes, but it's going to be brought back. Otho Courts about set to step it off against the Illini. So the infraction cost him 10. Line of scrimmage right at the 35. Illinois must get to the Ohio State 45 for a first down. So it's 1st and 20. Buckeyes have 5 defensive backs in. Trudeau airing one out. It is over the head of the receiver, Randy Grant. 5'10", 170-pound junior. Sonny Gordon and William White were covering as Trudeau fired it too far, bringing up 2nd and 20. Trudeau last week was 21 for 31 for 301 yards and a touchdown in Illinois' 22-6 triumph over Wisconsin. Coach Mike White looking on. He had successful years at California, 6 of them, in fact, before coming to Illinois. Here's a draw play. Steve Brazis, the backup to Thomas Rooks. Carries for about 10 yards on the play. Illinois still short of a first down.
Part of the concept of Illinois to keep things mixed up pretty well. They do a good job on the draw play as Brazis runs by Giuliani, number 33, Kolick, nips at his heels, doesn't quite get him. Finally, the secondary members of the Ohio State team, Sonny Gordon leading the way to bring him down.
Brazis filling in for Jackie Johnson at the reserve fullback position. A quick looking pass to Williams. First down inside the Buckeye 45. Kolick on the tackle. Very difficult play to stop. Greg Rogan assisted.
Almost impossible to stop this play. Trudeau raises up, throws very quickly to Williams. All right, an isolated look at Williams as he looks right off the line of scrimmage, splits the two defenders. Kolick on the tackle. Also Terry White, number 12, coming up to assist.
Now 3 receivers coming out to the left for Illinois on 1st and 10. The Buckeyes employing 5 backs in there on defense as Rook scurries all the way to the end zone. Oh, he didn't quite make it. Sonny Gordon upset him at the 4.5-yard line.
Again, Rooks has been running exclusively to the right side of the line where Juriga and Babcock operate. They create a lot of movement. As you see, Rooks start inside and then will slide outside, picks up a nice block from number 81. Now he's off to the races. It's a matter of how far he's going to run before Sonny Gordon block-type tackles him, knocks him out of bounds. Thomas Rooks this year so far, 115 rushes for 580 yards.
Eric Wyckoff, the running back, knife forward for maybe a yard. Dave Morrill was right in the path of Wyckoff. Play game maybe 1. 2nd and goal. Boy, that touchdown saving tackle by Gordon may be very important. The Illini now have to punch it in. It's 2nd down. Trudeau sprinting left to Rooks. Fine hit by Sonny Gordon.
Trudeau rolling to his left, looking downfield for Grant first. Can't quite find him. Throws right to Rooks. Sonny Gordon makes a great tackle. When you're out there all alone in the open field like Sonny Gordon, you seem like you're on an island all by yourself. And if you miss that tackle, certainly the whole world can see it.
3rd and goal for Illinois. Trudeau. Touchdown. Randy Grant. Wide receiver Randy Grant catches it. And the orange and blue are on their feet here at Ohio Stadium. 6-0 Illini.
Spread out action by Jack Trudeau. Simply great patience demonstrated by a young man. He elects to go, first of all, to Williams, then finds Grant, who is set down in the end zone all alone as the Buckeye coverage started to move a little bit more to the right side. Fine patience demonstrated by Jack Trudeau as he waited for Grant to come open on the play.
Chris White, who is 13 for 14 in the extra point department this year, prepares to try the PAT. And he is on target. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first quarter. And Illinois owns a 7-0 lead over Ohio State. So despite 2 superb tackles by Sonny Gordon, 1 preventing the long touchdown try by Rooks, and then the hit following the catch of the pass by Rooks, Illini's offense is still able to punch in the touchdown. Trudeau, a key 3rd down throw into the end zone to Grant, and how important those 3rd down passes are.
And what really makes this play go is Trudeau first elected as he starts to throw to Williams. Williams is not open at this point. Now he waits for Grant to sit down in a small hole in the secondary area and fires it into number 85, Grant, for the 6-pointer.
Well, last week, Paul, the Purdue Boilermakers right out of the box, marched down the field, got 7 points. The Illini, much the same here today in their first possession. They strike quickly.
Illinois trying to take and establish early control of this ball game, showing the Buckeyes that they've come here to Columbus today meaning to play football and meaning to defend their Big Ten title.
12-play, 80-yard drive using 4:28 off the clock. And Trudeau's 3-yard pass to Grant was the clincher. And White tacked on the extra point. Chris White prepares to tee it up at the 40. He started the game with a kickoff that was too far. It went out of the end zone on the fly and gave the Bucks field position at the 30-yard line. And after a single first down, the Buckeye offense slowed. Ohio State was forced to punt, and Illinois started from its 20 and is on the scoreboard first as Woolridge and Byers prepare to take the kickoff at the goal line. Buckeyes among the leaders in kickoff returns this year. Of course, Byers had one 61 last week, and Woolridge has been up around the 40-yard mark a couple times. Byers from 5 yards deep. Zipped it back out to the 19, and that's where Ohio State starts first and 10.
Keith Byers appeared to have a little bit of trouble locating that ball as he was looking up into the sun. However, he did gather it in, got it out back to about the 19 where the Buckeyes will take over. Ohio State really needs to open up its offense a little bit. I don't know if this is quite the point on the field, but they're going to have to start throwing the football.
What wind there is today is blowing kind of at us from the east to the west. Flags all over the place. Plenty of confusion down there along the line of scrimmage. Let's see if the Buckeyes are hit with procedure. They are.
Thus far, not a very impressive performance starting out by the Buckeyes. They were stopped 3 and out on their first drive, and now they've had an illegal procedure penalty. All right, as you see, the wide receiver there going right along the line of scrimmage. The backs start to move, and that's a legal procedure.
Sprint draw. This is Byers weaving across the 15 to the 17. Short gain. Ron Baum on the tackle for the Illini.
He's now by number 94, Ron Baum.
Byers had over 160 yards last year in the game at Illinois. But the Buckeyes had some quarterback problems that afternoon, as Carsados, Offenbecker, and Tomczak all 3 played. In fact, Tomczak has had tough games against Illinois each of the last 2 years. Second down, 11. Byers. He met resistance behind the line, managed to sneak the football out across the line of scrimmage to the 20. But a host of Illini were waiting on him. Gleamy, Swope, and Heaven.
Not very much to run through right there. Illini playing very tough defense right down in Ohio State territory, forcing the Buckeyes into a possession situation. We'll see if Earl Bruce elects to put the ball up or plays it conservative on this particular down.
Third and 8. Tomczak lofting one. No one's there across the 50-yard line. It appeared as though Carter was running more of a post pattern, and the ball went a little behind him. So the Buckeyes will have to punt for the second time this afternoon. 6:11 left first quarter. Illinois 7, Ohio State nothing.
Chris Carter looked back at the official. He was running a post pattern. He was bumped by strong safety Dave Edwards at the last moment. Carter was looking for the flag, but the official did not rule or throw the flag.
Tupa to take the long snap from Doug Whitmer. And he sails it down inside the 25-yard line at the 20. The Illini return man races back up across the 30 to the 34. And that's where the Illini will start it first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Tackled by Jim Lachey.
Jim Lachey raced downfield in a hurry to make the tackle. 60-yard punt, but Tupa may have outkicked his coverage just a bit there. The return back upfield 14 yards by Arbonitis. Well, we've seen the Illini offense once, and Trudeau this afternoon on 2 tries on third down has been right on the money each time. Paul, what's the significance of that 45%?
Well, that's the approximate number that you need, or you hope your quarterback is achieving that number or higher, 45% or better, in order to make the offense run efficiently and to make those third down conversions. Whenever a quarterback is below that percentage, your offense is probably going to be in trouble during the course of that day. Right now, we see Jack Trudeau is batting 1,000 or 100% at this juncture. He's 2 out of 2. Mike Tomczak is 0 for 1. So right now, the Illini offense, which has been demonstrated on the field, has been moving most consistently and, of course, have put the points on the scoreboard.
That 45% figure, as we look at head coach Earl Bruce, has been a very accurate barometer the last couple of weeks. Earl is 51-14 at Ohio State. Buckeyes 4-1 this year. Trudeau with time. It is caught, and Wilson out of the backfield makes the completion. And Terry White jarred him just as he caught the football. Wilson says ouch on that one.
Illinois had its wide receivers coming on cross patterns. Wilson will come from right to left. Trudeau pumps, throws it into Wilson as he clears coverage, but he is really hit hard by Terry White.
Wilson rushing this year has carried it 34 times for 100 yards. But like all Illini running backs, they can catch the football as well. Rook stumbles forward for about 4 on the first down try, bringing up 2nd and 6. 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go. First quarter. It is Illinois 7 and Ohio State nothing.
Illini do a very good job, Jack, of mixing their plays. They really keep a defensive team off balance. They throw basically in running situations, and they run a lot in throwing situations. So keeps the team off balance.
Another completion down to the 37-yard line. Thomas Johnson is on Cap Boso, but it's another Illini first down.
All right, we're looking at number 82, Cap Bosco. The tight end takes an inside release. Now he just hooks up in coverage right on the side of Thomas Johnson and makes the catch. This is a control type offense, passing game, more out of the Bill Walsh school of thought. And Mike White formerly coached for Bill Walsh, and so he runs this offense to perfection.
Injured Buckeye down at the 36-yard line.
Wisconsin 14. Final score.
Clock stopped at 5:02 left in the first quarter.
Michigan State 13,
Kelvin Bell is
a final.
beginning to sit up now. Kelvin, the senior safety from Richmond, Virginia, gets a round of applause as he gets up to his feet. Kelvin, coming into this season, had played in each of the Buckeyes' 36 games in his first 3 years here at Ohio State.
0, Penn State 0.
So the Illini have been moving the football at will in their first 2 possessions.
The Illini are a very difficult team to defense against, Jack. They use multiple formations, a lot of motion, and they use what they call flood flare. A flood flare passing game. In other words, they try to flood one area or zone with more receivers than defenders, and they give Trudeau the option of picking the right receiver, and he does that excellently.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. This is Rooks. Penetration to Johnson.
Tackled by Cooper Johnson.
Scott Leach was also in there for Ohio State. Forward progress for Rooks got him a yard, brings up 2nd down 9. 4.5 minutes to go first quarter. Randy Grant and David Williams split far right out of your picture to the top of the screen. Trudeau looking that way. Complete inside the 15. Terry White blasted the receiver, Randy Grant, after he caught it. But it's another first down to the Illini as Grant holds on.
A good example of the flood flare philosophy of Mike White. He had 2 receivers in that area. He had Williams going to the post and then Grant going right down the sidelines. Grant makes the catch on the sidelines, bounced out very hard by Terry White, but it's another big gainer for the Illini.
Now two receivers come out to the left. Rooks to the 11 or 12-yard line. Thomas Johnson closed up the avenue in a hurry. As Rooks, with another step advantage, could have sprung that one to the outside, might have gone all the way to the end zone. But Johnson kept the gain at 3. Fred Ritter has now checked in at linebacker for Ohio State.
A lot of movement occurring on the right side of line, as we mentioned before, of Illinois, behind Jariga and Badyar, who really move things and make things happen over there.
Fred Ritter, a freshman linebacker from Eaton, Ohio, now into the Buckeyes. And the Buckeyes stack up the rushing effort at the 9-yard line. Dave Morrow meets Eric Wyckoff. The play gain perhaps 2. Third down coming.
Straight handoff this time to freshman Wyckoff, who's running again to the right side, but Dave Morrow, number 57, was the man who stepped around, got penetration on the play, and made the initial hit, and was helped by other Buckeye defenders.
3rd and 6. Illinois must get to the 3.5. And the receiver fell down. Backup tight end Reese had stumbled down around the 1 or 2 yard line. So following the incompletion, Chris White comes on, and he'll try a field goal from about 26 yards away.
It was a good thing that Reese did fall down, because as he made his cut, he had lulled the defensive back to the middle, and he was breaking to the outside. It would have been a sure 6-pointer.
White has missed just 2 field goals this year, one last week, a 19-yarder against Wisconsin. He hooks it from right to left. It's good. And with 2:58 left, first quarter, Illinois, which has been moving the football at will, is on top by a score of 10-0. Now the Illini have had to earn it, as they have rolled up over 150 yards in total offense thus far. And they've been chewing time off the clock. And the Buckeyes offense just has not been able to sustain much.
Buckeye offense has not had great field position. However, on the first possession, they did start out about around the 30-yard line. On their second possession, they were inside of their own 20-yard line, but they have not been able to sustain anything up to this point.
So the Buckeyes will get the football with under 3 minutes left in the first period. Illini took 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go 66 yards and 8 plays. And White culminated the drive with a 26-yard boot. In the field goal department this year, he's now 15 for 17 as Keith Byers and Johnny Wooldridge prepare to take White's kick back from the goal line. Chris White kicked 5 field goals last week, 1 short of a conference record. He tied the conference mark at 5. Well, Byers catches it 3 yards deep, and unlike the previous kick, which he brought back from 5 yards deep, Byers elects to touch it down, and Ohio State will start at the 20, 1st and 10. So the Buckeyes try to get the offense untracked, trailing by 10 points late in the first quarter. The Illini defense has been kind of a Jekyll and Hyde defense the last couple of weeks against the run. They thwarted Wisconsin last week, held them to only 26 yards running, but the week before, Harmon of Iowa gained 191 on the ground. Tomczak to throw on first down. It is nearly picked off. It is intercepted by Heaven as he stepped in front of Carter. And the Illini are in the driver's seat, knocking on the door at the 21-yard line.
I Isolated look at Chris Carter as he takes a few steps off the line of scrimmage, but Mike Heaven really picks his pocket as he appeared to be in the Ohio State huddle. Now here's another look from Tom Zach's view as Heaven dives in front of Chris Carter. It was a big play, but of course the Illini secondary has been doing this all year long. They have very talented athletes back in that secondary, and it's going to be tough for Ohio State today, but the Buckeyes have got to make the passing game go if they're going to be effective this afternoon.
Interceptions are nothing new for Heaven. He tied for second in the conference last year with 5 intercepts. Wilson is upset at the 20-yard line by Dave Morrill. Play gained a couple, second down, and about 8.5 to go for a first down. 2 minutes, 34 seconds to go, first period. Illinois following the interception, setting up shop in good field position. Wide open at the 10-yard line. Boso. Illinois first down. Terry White on the tackle.
Trudeau looking for Boso right over the middle. He's all alone. Makes a fine catch, but he really pays for it as Sonny Gordon and Terry White really smack him hard. Now Boso is down on the surface here at Ohio Stadium.
Mike White likes to use his tight end frequently. Boso, the junior from Indianapolis, Indiana, had caught coming into the game 22 balls. That was good for number 2 on this team.
Well, they like to throw to him in the situations that we've seen thus far. He'll come take an inside release, hook up over the middle, or either go straight down the middle. He's basically a possession type of receiver who they look for on the secondary routes when they're not trying to reach David Williams.
As the Buckeye defense gets set to prepare for first and 10, just a hair outside the 10-yard line. Boso does leave the field and is replaced. It looks like the Illini can pick up a first down just short of the goal line. Nose of the football just outside the 10. As the Buckeyes stack up the sweep to the right, Brasilius is there. As Eric Wyckoff was plowed under at the 9. Illinois could get a first down just in front of the goal line. Second down coming. 9 yards for a touchdown and 8.5 plus for a first down.
Buckeye defense is going to have to come up with a big play down here on this particular series.
Trudeau trying to bark out signals. Ohio crowd very noisy. David Williams goes high, touchdown!
David Williams showing you why he's one of the best receivers in the country. That time he catches the ball between 2 Ohio State defenders. Watch this, goes up high between Sonny Gordon and Houston and nabs that pass. Touchdown for Illinois. Now it's a ground level shot as you'll see his hands spring up, going high. It's a great catch by David Williams. Puts the Illini up by a score of 16-0.
Extra point try coming by White. It's good. Illinois now leads it 17-0 with 1:14 to go in the first quarter. The Buckeyes had given up just 17 points all year in the first period. And today the Illini have matched that 17-point output with 2 touchdowns, 2 PATs, and a field goal. Opposition coming into the game today had scored 17 in the first quarter. Illinois has got those 17. So the Buckeyes, which had been a good first quarter team defensively, have seen the Illini offensive attack explode in the first 14 minutes of the first quarter today.
Here's a scoring pass in the end zone. Trudeau just putting the ball up high in between two defenders, threading the needle. But David Williams, the outstanding receiver, is the man who makes the play go. The ground level shot now. Trudeau will throw the ball very high, and as you watch that foot come right down, you see right there that David Williams gets at least 1 foot in the end zone to make it a true touchdown catch.
And the Illini kick the ball to Byers again. He goes down to one knee about 4 or 5 yards deep in the end zone. That team's the last couple of weeks, Paul, had been kicking the ball away from Byers. Purdue let him handle it once last week, and Byers ripped off 61 yards. Illinois scoring drive, 21 yards in 4 plays. Trudeau's pass to Williams, 9 yards out, touchdown. Boy, if the Buckeyes could have held and forced a field goal, it would have been a victory in a sense. But Illinois and Trudeau made sure that that didn't happen. As Byers roams the left end, drops the football. Illinois got it. Craig Swope on the recovery.
Things go wrong. It seems like everything goes wrong. Byers carrying the football. It just comes out of his hand. He really doesn't have it tucked away good. He's not hit by anyone. The ball simply just dropped out of his hand, recovered by the Fighting Illini. It gives Illinois great field position. They've had 2 major turnovers in the first period here, and this is the kind of football team that can really capitalize on mistakes.
So Trudeau is only 20 yards away from the end zone. Rooks. Oh, he's jammed up at the line of scrimmage. Dennis Houston met Mr. Rooks at the 20. Pickup of 1.5 yards. Larry Kolick aided Houston. Buckeyes have gotten good inside linebacker play this year from Johnson and Kolick, and of course from Spielman before the injury. Coach Earl Bruce, I'm sure, would like a little better play out of his outside people. And Dennis Houston rose to the challenge on the last tackle. Trudeau to the end zone, open receiver, too far. Randy Grant was beyond coverage.
Jack Trudeau would like to have that one back. Randy Grant couldn't have been more wide open. Trudeau was looking around, finally locates Grant on the far right side, throws a little bit off balance there, and that's why the ball sails high and over the head of Grant. You can see how wide open. There is absolutely no one down at the end zone around Grant at that point.
27 ticks left on the clock here in the first quarter. Illinois with 3rd down. Call it 9 from the 20 of Ohio State. This is Trudeau. Completion to Boso. He appears to have picked up the first down as Gordon wrestled him to the turf. Line of scrimmage spotted the 11. But it's about 0.5 yard beyond the first down state. 1st and 10 Illini.
4 receivers out on this pass pattern, but Trudeau is looking for the possession guy, Boso. As he released off the line of scrimmage, he turned out quickly, found the open spot, got the first down. Sonny Gordon up from his secondary position. Too late on the tackle, though.
Clock moving. 12 seconds to go in the quarter. Official has a timeout over on the other side of the field as the first down marker had not been properly set. It's a first down for Illinois from the 11. 11 seconds to go in period number 1.
Buckeye defense really needs to come up with a big play here. If they can keep Illinois off of the scoreboard with 6 points, it will be a big, big help.
Trudeau slips it to Rooks. White trips him up at the 10-yard line. Outstanding play by William White, the freshman from Lima. Time has run out here in the first period at Ohio Stadium. Our score after one quarter, Illinois 17, Ohio State nothing. Back with more Buckeye football in a moment.
The McNeil-Lehrer News Hour brings you an up-to-the-minute news rundown as well as in-depth extended coverage of the day's top news stories. You'll learn all the facts of the news you need to know through a mixture of interviews, documentary footage, and discussions. Join us for public television's alternative to the network news, the McNeil-Lehrer News Hour, weeknights at 6:30. WVIZ TV 25, Cleveland.
Broadcast and production of Ohio State football is provided in part through a funding grant from the City Loan and Savings Company of Lima, Ohio. And transportation services have been provided by Trans-Midwest Airlines.
This is Jack Kramer with Paul Warfield at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. We're seconds away from the start of quarter number 2. Illinois knocking on the Buckeyes' door once again, already leading 17-0. Paul, the Buckeyes led Purdue last week in the third quarter, 17-7. Since then, the Bucks have had a rough time of it.
Well, in the last 3 quarters, they've been outscored by a total of 38-6. And so with Illinois' great start today, if past indications hold up today, perhaps the Buckeyes might be in a little bit of trouble.
Jack Trudeau, third down passing, has successfully gotten Illinois first downs 3 times in 4 tries. That last play there of the period, Illinois appeared to have a mix-up in the backfield, Paul.
It was a mix-up in the backfield, but Trudeau improvised very well and got the play off.
Rooks was the outlet man. The play only netted a yard. There we see Trudeau's 3 of 4 on third down passing conversions. Tomczak 0 for 1 in his only try on third down passing the football. That has been a very accurate barometer in weeks past as Chuck Long's third down passing conversion stats began to fall a couple weeks ago here at Ohio Stadium, or I should say 3 weeks ago. And as his stats began to slide, Ohio State began to pull away. This is Trudeau pitching it short to Boso. He's flushed out of bounds at about the 9-yard line. Sonny Gordon, who's made some timely hits in the early going today, made the tackle at the sideline on Boso there. Thomas Johnson aided him, brings up third down.
Good strategy on the pass play, getting movement out of the pocket, and Trudeau, who does very well throwing on the run as well as throwing from the pocket, seems to have the necessary poise that he can find the receivers downfield and has the kind of discipline to wait for them to come open.
Ohio State must hold here. Trudeau looking to the end zone. It is a touchdown, Illinois. Boso. The officials had first signaled good, a touchdown. There it is. A second signal says Illinois score, and it's 23-0.
Cap Boso, number 82, right at the top of your screen, takes an inside release, darts out to the outside right at about the goal line and gets in. Ohio State defenders coming up to make the stop, but a little bit too late.
White again will try to be successful on his third PAT of the afternoon. And he is. Illinois has now mounted a 24-0 lead. Only 13 seconds into the second quarter of this football game. Boy, we expected a lot of points today, Paul, but no one thought it would be this lopsided this soon.
Well, there's no question, but the errors committed by the Ohio State Football Club has hurt them in their effort in the first quarter period and in the opening minutes here in the second period. Buckeyes still can get back into this ball game, but they're going to have to start it right away. Another look at the touchdown, as this time Trudeau takes a straight drop back. He's going all the way to Cap Boso, number 82. Boso takes the catch right at the goal line. Thomas Johnson there trying to make the stop, but Boso's progress gets him into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Buckeyes need a concerted effort here on offense. On this possession, they've got to put some points on the scoreboard and make things happen with the football. Byers is going to bring it back. He's tripped up across the 10. He's down at the 12-yard line. As Byers took a gamble, brought it back out from deep in the end zone.
Watch Keith Byers. There's a little bit of indecision on his part coming out of this end zone, but he decides to go with it anyway, and it's a mistake because he comes out late, does not really get up into the wedge. Ohio State has the ball at about the 12-yard line, and it's a long way from the Buckeye goal.
Lanise in motion. Wooldridge is covered by about 3 Illini across the 15. As Dave Ina led a wave of white-shirted Illinois people. Steve Nelson assisted. Illini last drive following the turnover went 21 yards using a 2:20 off the clock. It took them 6 plays. And Trudeau and Boso covered the last 9 yards. Ohio State fans don't have much to cheer about at this point. Second and 5. Tomczak to Carter. Tomczak's short pass was over the head of Chris out in the right flat, and it's 3rd down coming up. Mike Kevin was on the coverage. Buckeyes need a 1st down here.
Buckeye receivers are going to find that they'll be going up against a lot of man-for-man coverage this week, as they did in Purdue last week. It was very difficult for them to operate. We'll see how they're going to do starting with this play right here.
3rd and 5. Bucks must reach the 22. Tomczak has Lanise. John Ayers dropped Lanise to the ground, but not before Mike hauled it in, and it's a big gainer, a 1st down to the 34.
Mike Lanise running a curl pattern. He makes a little move to the outside right here to shake himself free from Ayers. A big possession reception. Mike Lanise, who's been doing that ball game in and ball game out all year for the Buckeyes, comes through once again.
Buckeyes hope that is 1 1st down of a long series of them here. 13 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Quick out to Carter. Carter trying to shake free, gets across the 40. Mike Kevin pulled him down. A gain of about 8 on the play. As Tomczak hooks up with Carter, who caught 5 balls a week ago against Purdue. Tomczak 2 of 5 for 25 yards on the afternoon. Yardage-wise, he had his 2nd best day in his career a week ago against the Boilermakers, passing for 280. Keith Byers ripping up the middle. George Arvanitis made the tackle. Buckeye fans on their feet. Ohio State marching to the Illinois 46.
Keith Byers starting to his right, cuts back left over left guard, and mows down a couple of Illinois defenders and fights his way for extra yardage. Keith Byers today, 32 yards on 7 tries.
Roman Bates is the Buckeye shaken up on the other side of the far hash mark at about the 45-yard line. Roman has been a very durable performer last year and this year here for the Bucks. He carried the ball 11 times in the Ohio State opener. He's rushed on the year some 34 times and has very capably performed blocking chores in that Buckeye backfield. Roman Bates, a junior from Memphis. He appears to be all right. Johnny Wooldridge coming in for Roman. 1st down, Ohio State. Line of scrimmage, the Illinois 46-yard line. As Keith Byers gets some attention at the sideline. Interesting strategy, I think, by Illinois today, Paul. they've elected to kick the football right to Keith Byers on kickoffs, perhaps trying to work him that much more maybe.
Well, it is an interesting concept. Most people have tried to keep the ball away from Keith. They don't want it to be in his hands as much as possible, but the Illini are, maybe it's a psychological ploy that they're trying to pull to prove to their squad that although Byers is a great back, they respect him, they're not afraid of him.
First down, Buckeyes. This is Wooldridge, and he stumbles for a couple. Barry Walker, the sophomore fullback from Lancaster, who was in for Bates on that play, was out in front of Wooldridge. The Buckeyes registered a 2-yard pickup, bringing up 2nd and 8. Under 12 and a half minutes to go in the second quarter. Guy Tiefentiller made the last tackle for the Illini. He's one of 2 big junior college transfers on that Illinois defensive front. Tomczak gives it to Byers. Byers forges inside the 40 to the 39. Illinois substitutes freely. We see 3 or 4 defensive people checking in on the last play. They use some 20 different people on defense throughout the afternoon of a football game. Perhaps the only 2 players in there consistently are Heaven and Swope.
Well, Heaven and Swope are 2 players that you want to stay in there for as nearly as close to the 60-minute period as you can. But it's a young defensive team, particularly up front, and Mike White wants to keep them fresh and keep them eager.
2 tight ends in there for Ohio State on 3rd and 3. Byers bolting to the 35. He's got a first down, it appears. Bob Cleamy, an outside linebacker, in there on the tackle for Illinois. Mike Tomczak emphatically motioning first down, and it is.
This time Byers tries the right side behind Zielinski, who's at right guard and gets the necessary push. And Barry Walker, number 43, also helped by leading the way too.
Coach Earl Bruce and the Buckeyes had to stage a comeback in the 4th quarter last week at Purdue. Today they're faced with that task early on. Illinois got a 24-0 lead, second quarter. Tomczak pitching for Lanise.
As he'll motion Lanise to move out of his curl pattern. Lanise tried a curl pattern and then he swung to the outside, made an option on it. Mike Lanise, watch him run the curl pattern on Ayers. Now watch him turn and go to the outside as he leaves Ayers inside, makes the big reception, and gets all the additional yardage that he can get. Fine play. Good timing between Tomczak and Lanise.
This is Byers. Down just across the line of scrimmage. Guy Tiefentiller was the first to make contact. He was assisted by Dave Ina. Good defense by Illinois.
Byers takes his hand off. He's following by Walker, but Tiefentiller, 98, and also number 15, John Ayers, the quarterback, came up very fast to close that play for very short yardage, practically no gain at all.
Second down. 9 yards to go for Ohio State for a first down. Byers and the Illini swarm all over him. Guy Tiefentiller in there on the tackle of Keith Byers. He was helped by a couple additional Illini.
Well, there's no question that the Illini are winning the battle at the front lines right now, as there's not very much room for Byers to run as a host of white jerseyed Illinois players stack him up for another short gain.
This Tiefentiller call was heralded a year ago as the best junior college defensive lineman in the country. Illinois got him, and he's performed very well so far today. Third down 9. Tomczak is cranked as he throws the football. Tomczak was belted by Illinois' Dwayne Pugh, who was blitzing from his linebacker post. And the Bucks now have 4th and 9.
Part of the Illini pressure defense, the blitz with number 18 coming up. Tomczak never sees him. Look at that hit. Mike barely gets the ball off. Illinois employs a pressure defense. They want to create things and make things happen. And that time you saw it was a good example because the Illini will blitz you most of the afternoon, but they will certainly come up with the unexpected blitz. And that time, Mike Tomczak did not see it.
Boy, if the Buckeyes are to come back this afternoon, success on this play would be a big step toward it. They're going for it. 4th and 9. Tomczak lofts it. It's no good. He was under duress, and Illinois takes over the football.
Again, we saw the pressure defense, number 31, lower right part of your corner. That's Sebring, the outside linebacker, coming around the horn, and he will hit Mike Tomczak. Tomczak does a great job just getting. Again, we saw the pressure defense, number 31, lower right part of your corner. That's Sebring, the outside linebacker, coming around the horn, and he will hit Mike Tomczak. Tomczak does a great job just getting the ball off. All right, it's a ground level shot, and you'll see number 31, Bob Sebring, coming right into him right now. Hitting him hard. Tomczak barely gets the ball off.
9 minutes, 21 seconds to go, second quarter. This is Rooks blasting up the middle. Forward progress to near the 20. Greg Rogan came up to head him off.
Ground level shot. Thomas Rooks cuts off that block. Larry Kolek is screened off right there. Now he's looking to swing to the outside. Rooks, a good runner who seems to always find the spot and pick the right hole.
Illinois employing 3 receivers to the far side of the field. This is Rooks again. He's got a first down. Rogan was on top of him. Dennis Houston met him. Illinois first down at the 26, 8:43 to go second quarter. Illinois 24, Ohio State nothing.
Right now, the Illinois offensive line is showing its stuff as it's really moving the Buckeye defenders off the ball.
Rooks again. Byron Lee on his back at the 31. 8:20 left, second quarter.
Jack, Illinois has moved the ball very successfully down in their own territory this series, basically running the ball to Rooks and running on a counter trap play with excellent trap blocking, and Rooks has the ability to pick the holes, and he finds the right spot every time. Thomas Rooks has 80 yards rushing on 12 tries this afternoon.
Illinois normally only rushes the ball for a little over 3 yards a carry, but they're doing a better job of it today. Boso, or I should say Grant, down inside the 35-yard line. He was tight-roping the near sideline around midfield. In fact, he might have stepped out of bounds before coming back in to catch the ball.
Well, Randy Grant makes another fine catch on the sidelines. There might have been some question. The official is right there on the spot, as you can see him, and did not rule that Grant was out of bounds. So it's another big reception for the Illini as they move down into Ohio State territory.
Trudeau and the Illini are mixing it up, using a myriad of receivers. And occasionally, Rooks cracks ahead on a rushing play. First and 10, 33. Brazis off right guard for about 3 yards to the 31. Play gain just 2. Second down 8. 7:12 left in quarter number 2. Mike White's Illini team in the driver's seat, out in front with 24 points. Trudeau sprinting left. David Williams can't hold it. Kolek was on his back and forced the incompletion inside the 20-yard line. Kolek's helmet spun off and rolled to the turf. He was the Buckeyes' Defensive Player of the Week last Saturday against Purdue. Buckeyes cannot afford to miss Kolick today. Boy, Trudeau is hot. 14 of 18, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 8 coming into today's game, and he's tacked on 3 more TD strikes this afternoon.
He's a very disciplined passer who does not throw a lot of interceptions. He has a tremendous amount of poise, will stay in the pocket, or he has the ability to roll out of the pocket, but yet find the open receivers downfield. And as we said, he's a guy who really makes this offense go.
But the sword in the side of the Buckeyes today, Paul, like it was in that second half against Purdue last week, has been the turnover, because Illinois has gotten their last 14 points thanks to excellent field position following an interception and a fumble recovery.
Jack Trudeau sprinting out to his left. He's looking back right, trying to throw to Williams. Now watch Larry Kolick, 33, as he receives the blunt of the blow that was delivered by actually Pepper Johnson. Seemingly Williams, the intended receiver, got up unfeathered by the blow.
So it's a 3rd down for Illinois. And quarterback Trudeau is motioning to his teammates, let's huddle up again, as the officials were not yet ready to signal the ball for play.
Buckeyes really need a big play here, Jack. They perhaps need to gamble, come with the blitz. Could be very disruptive. Could perhaps nail Trudeau, or at least knock Illinois back out of field goal range, or a little bit further away from Chris White's range.
Crossing pattern, Boso on the loose. Penalty marker down, Boso to the 17. Perhaps an infraction thrown against David Williams, as the play by the Illini may come back. Yes, clipping call against Williams after Boso had hauled in the football from Trudeau. Williams clipped.
All right, watch Williams here. Receiver on the play. He'll get back in the action as he'll try to block, but he throws a definite clip on number 90, Fred Ritter, and the officials were right on the spot. A costly penalty for the Illini, as Boso had all the yardage that he needed for the 1st down.
So the Buckeyes get a reprieve. And now Illinois has got 3rd and some 15 yards to go.
All right, Boso makes the catch, and there's a clip. As you see, not a very smart play by David Williams, the wide receiver, and it cost the Illini as the ball has been brought back to about the 38-yard line.
Clock moving, 6.5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. Trudeau spirals one down the middle, intercepted by Thomas Johnson. No, it's ruled incomplete. He had it, but coughed it up when he hit the turf.
Tough luck for Thomas Johnson, who seems to always make the big plays. This time Trudeau is back in the pocket, got a lot of time to throw the football, and then makes a poor decision throwing it right there, looking for Cap Boso. It looks like the tight end, but Thomas Johnson is sitting right there, goes high to make the apparent interception, but loses the football, does not have possession of it long enough. The Illini will have to punt the football, but Ohio State at least salvages something on that apparent drive as they stop the Illini with the Illini not putting any more points on the scoreboard.
Chad Little, a 39-yard punter, takes the long snap at the 50 and arches it for the end zone. And it goes out of bounds in the field of play as the official lines it up at the 9-yard line. So Little angles it out inside the 10. And Ohio State has got 6 minutes and 24 seconds left in the 2nd quarter to do something about this 24-0 Illinois advantage.
Well, they have a long way to go, Jack, but it is imperative that the Buckeyes put some points on the scoreboard, whether it's run, pass, or a combination of the two. They simply have to move the ball the length of the football field and put 6 points on the scoreboard rather than to go in at halftime shut out.
Illinois came up empty on that last drive, but they actually stopped themselves with the penalty. Boy, this is some kind of offense we've seen today, guided by Jack Trudeau and Illinois.
They have been very consistent all day long, and Ohio State has sputtered.
4 out of 6 for Trudeau. Third downs, passing the football, and he's well above that 45% figure that we have stated is necessary for a quarterback to achieve in order to move the football effectively all afternoon. Trudeau 4 of 6 on third downs. Tom Zach 1 for 3. And of course, Mike also threw an incompletion on Ohio State's 4th down try when they were down inside the Illinois 15 on that last possession.
Well, I think the numbers displayed on the graphic are very obvious of the direction that this ball game is going thus far. And the Ohio State Buckeyes are going to have to be more consistent offensively on third down and also keeping these drives alive to get back into this ball game.
Pete Byers right up the middle, and he gets about 5. Bob Sebring on the tackle. Keep in mind, too, that 2 of Trudeau's 4 third down completions have been for scores. So you can stick a little star by 2 of those third down throws by quarterback Trudeau. Bob Maggs has checked into the Ohio State lineup at tackle. A 266-pound sophomore from Youngstown Mooney. Movement along the line of scrimmage. Perhaps John Hutchison, the guilty party.
Ohio penalty, 10 ball foul, Illinois proceeding.
The bottom right part of your screen and left side, everybody is really moving on Ohio State. It's going to cost the Buckeyes some yardage, and negative yardage at that. You don't want that sort of thing to happen to you. The Buckeyes are already backed up enough and in a very difficult position to be operating from offensively.
2nd and 10 as Doug Smith has checked in for Carter. Hutchison still in at tight end for Groza, who started the day. Fake to Byers. The pass is complete to Doug Smith. Nearly a late hit committed there by Illinois on Smith, as Smith is tackled at the 27. He ran a nice route, and Tom Zach's pass was right on the money.
Play action pass by Mike Tomczak. He's looking for Doug Smith, who's hooking in. Smith, this ball is deflected, but he gets good concentration and swings right around Edwards. Almost is off to the races. However, 54, Mark Taggart, the Illinois defensive unit linebacking, comes up to make the stop.
5:20 left, second quarter. Clock is advancing. Buckeyes trail by 24. On first down, Tom Zach hits Lanise at the 41. As he had the defender, John Ayers, backed up on the play. And Tom Zach struck with Lanise.
Mike Tomczak actually throws this ball right about at this point, and as soon as Lanise looks around, the ball is right there. Perfectly thrown. Nothing that the defender can do on it. Mike Lanise today, 3 receptions for 54 yards.
And Lanise has equaled his reception total of a week ago, 3. 5 minutes left in quarter number 2. Buckeyes need points before the half closes. Tom Zach's got a man wide open. Carter.
Mike Tomczak that time will look to his left, fake throwing to his left, then turn and wheel and throw to his right. Chris Carter waiting, the ball is hanging. All he can do is wait for this ball, and he really pays for it as All-American Craig Swope comes over and knocks him out with great concentration. Chris Carter, 16 receptions, 181 yards, and 3 TDs for this year.
First down, Ohio State, line of scrimmage, Illinois 23. Penalty marker down. Guy Tiefentiller again is one of the Illini people on the stop. Holding call coming up against Ohio State.
Number 34.
And that is an #1 drive stopper anytime.
It certainly makes doing things a lot more difficult, adding 15 yards on, but the Buckeyes are moving well now. They simply are going to have the necessary character to overcome this little difficulty that has stood in their path.
Line of scrimmage for Ohio State will now be the 33. Bucks must get it down to the 13 for a first down. They've got 4 plays with which to do it.
Ohio penalty.
Plenty of time left in the second quarter. 4:12 to go.
In a situation like this, Jack, you don't try to get it back all at one time, but you try to get it back in little bits of pieces. 10 yards here, 12 yards there, and you put yourself in a short yardage situation.
Long cadence for Tom Zach. He zips it to Carter. Down the sideline. Carter very close to first down yardage, is about 3 short.
You don't try to get it back in all in one piece, but if you got a receiver like Chris Carter who can make things happen, you certainly can. As he outmaneuvers number 9, Mike Heaven, goes down the sideline. And then there's Ayers who comes along to bounce him out of bounds, but Ohio State is back in business as they're down there only about 3.5 to 4 yards away from a first down.
Second down, 3 yards to go for the Buckeyes, 17 to go for a touchdown. This is Byers, spinning, touchdown.
Shot, Keith Byers. 43, Barry Walker gets a good block. Now Byers swings. He makes a nice move. Oops, number 27, Edwards does not quite get him as he spins around. Now Byers is now heading upfield. He's met by number 18, and that is Dwayne Pugh, but Pugh does not have the necessary stuff to stop him as Byers gets into the end zone for the 12th time this year.
About the first opportunity today, the Buckeye fans have had a chance to get on their feet and let out a big roar. Ohio State not out of this one by a long shot. Of course, the Bucks could not afford to come up with a goose egg on that possession. And discussion now occurring on the far side of the field. The officials chatting with Illinois coach Mike White, as perhaps tempers had flared in the end zone following Byers' touchdown run. Spangler teeing it up at the 10. He's 19 for 21 in the extra point department. Was 6 for 8 at one point in the first couple weeks. So he has hit on at least 13 consecutive. Mark Garowitz discussing with the official what has been ruled. And perhaps we'll see something stepped off on the kickoff following the extra point by Spangler. Whitmer, Doug Whitmer from Kettering, Ohio, centering the football. Perfect spot by Lanise, and the placement by Spangler is good. So Ohio State has whittled 7 points off of the Illinois lead. It's now 24-7 with 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the half.
That was a very important drive. Keith Byers, as we're taking a look at him, going the final yards on that drive to give the Buckeyes a 24-7 deficit in here that they must overcome. However, it was an important drive in the context, Jack, that they got on the scoreboard, and there's still time left on the score clock, about 4 minutes or so. Here's a ground level shot. Barry Walker, 43, gets a key block right there. allows Byers, who sidesteps, make a wonderful move on Edwards, the strong safety. Now Byers is going upfield as he squares his shoulders to the goalpost. Number 18, Dwayne Pugh, the linebacker, simply catches on for the ride and goes into the end zone as Byers scores. Now a look from up top. Keith Byers will follow number 43, Barry. That's Barry Walker, who will lead the way. And now Byers is going on into the end zone, makes the score. Pugh on the stop, or attempted stop, but Byers gets in.
Now the Illinois player, Pugh, doesn't want to let Keith Byers get up. So when push comes to shove, you just push and shove right back. And the end result is a major penalty against Illinois, and Ohio State will kick off from the Illini 45. And this might be a good spot for an onside kick. We saw Purdue try it last week when they had good field position. If you don't recover it, Illinois is not going to get the football out on the field to play too far. Yet you might want to kick it down deep and try to force a fumble down inside the 20-yard line. 91-yard drive. Buckeyes took it, needing only 6 plays, 2:11 off the clock. Byers finished it off, bolting 16 yards for the touchdown. Of course, the Buckeyes were unsuccessful last week in recovering an onside kick against Purdue. They try it here. It is touched by Illinois. Whose football is it? Let's see. It's Ohio State football. Joe Jenkins, sophomore from Chicago, recovers the onside kick.
All right, as you see, Rich Spangler kick it to the left side. The ball will take a classic bounce into an Illinois defender's hands, but right out of his hands. Now it's a mad scramble for the football, and somehow or another, Joe Jenkins is the man in red who comes up with the football for the Buckeyes. It is a big, big play for Ohio State.
Byers is snowed under just across the line of scrimmage. Guy Tiefatiller put his helmet against Byers after about a yard advancement by Keith. From the 30, second down, 9 coming up. Ohio State has 3 timeouts left, 3:48 left on the clock. Byers has got 1 touchdown rushing today. Keep in mind, he's got a streak going. Let's see, in 11 in a row, he scored 2 touchdowns rushing or more. Tomczak still has it. He loops it downfield for Carter.
Give Chris Carter one heck of a catch on this as Mike Tomczak really pressured, throws this ball up for grabs. Carter really doesn't see it until the last second, goes up high in between 3 Illinois defenders. No less than 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, to take the touchdown.
Ohio State now trails by 11. Spangler attempts to reduce the deficit to 10. It's good. Illinois 24, Ohio State 14. 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go until halftime. The Buckeyes, with a bit of a flea flicker, scored quickly after recovering the onside kick. Chris Carter showing superb athletic ability, leaping high into the air to snare the touchdown pass at the goal line.
Can't say enough, Jack, about Chris Carter really making that play happen. It wasn't very much on that football when Mike Tomczak threw it. He had to throw it in a hurry. Here's the flea flicker action. Fake the Byers, fake the toss to Lanise going around. Now Tomczak is pressured by Tiefatiller. He just throws it up for grabs. Look at that ball going over and over. in. Now Carter goes up high in between 3 defenders and snags the ball, taking it into the end zone. Chris Carter, 91 yards today, 4 receptions, and 1 big touchdown. That really puts the Buckeyes back in this ball game.
Carter, the freshman from Middletown, Ohio, has brought the Buckeyes back to within 10. As Spangler tees it up. Still 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the second quarter. And the Buckeyes, with a good defensive charge, could get the football back for the offense again before the half finishes out. Buckeyes go 31 yards, needing just 2 plays to do it. Tom Zach to Carter, a 30-yard touchdown strike. Wilson, 7 yards deep in the end zone, says, let's start from the 20. The Buckeyes, like lightning, score quickly, covering 31 yards in 2 plays. Carter just out-leaped the Illini. Chris stands about 6'2.5" tall, but when he gets off the ground, he's a lot taller than that. Illinois on offense. Trudeau's going to pass. This is Rooks. Dennis Houston on the tackle, short gain of 2 yards. To 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the second quarter. Buckeyes have got 3 timeouts remaining. Second down, 8 for Illinois at the 22. Trudeau is 16 for 21, 157 yards. Draw play, Rooks. First down to the 32-yard line. Terry White forced him to hit the deck, but it's a first down for the Illini. Eric Cumro now in for the Bucks at linebacker.
Good call by Jack Trudeau, and the Illini get great blocking as Rooks picks the right spot on the hole, gets a block downfield from number 1 Williams, and gets as much out of the play as he can. Now you see Williams downfield doing the extra work. Great block by Williams on William White, and he knocks him down. This is the reason why running backs make great yardage when you have great blocking wide receivers.
Trudeau's pass complete to Williams at the 47. In heavy traffic, Williams leaped up to haul it in as Morrow was within a stride of getting to Trudeau. He just got the pass off. Nice catch by Williams on the other end.
Again, Jack Trudeau shows great concentration. He's looking for a receiver and has to wait until the last second, and then fires and finds his man Williams right around 3 Ohio State defenders. First down for the Illini.
5 defensive backs in. The pass is up the side, intercepted. Sonny Gordon.
Not very well timed by Trudeau, as Grant will be running a flag pattern, but the ball is thrown over the other shoulder. And Sonny Gordon comes up from his defensive position in good shape, picks it off. It is another big break for the Buckeyes, who can start again and try to put more points on the scoreboard.
Sonny Gordon with 3 interceptions on the year. Of course, his intercept against Oregon State helped turn that game around. Tom Zach throwing a bomb. Doug Smith. Oh! Penalty marker down back at the line of scrimmage. Well, the play would have been wiped out anyway had Smith made the catch.
It would have been wiped out, Jack, anyway, but those are the catches you have to make. The ball was thrown perfectly. It was a catchable ball by Smith. However, there is a penalty on the play. All right, Mike Tomczak does some beautiful faking on the play action. He's going for 6 points and all the way. Lets it all air out. There is Smith splitting the defense, ball right in off his fingertips. It was not as difficult as it looked. Doug Smith should have made that reception.
Second down, or I should say first down all over again. 20 yards to go now for a first down. Bucks with 3 timeouts left, 1:57 on the clock. Swing pass to Byers, he needs a block, and he can't get it. A loss on the play of a yard. If Keith couldn't have, if he could have gotten a block in the left flat, it might have sprung him for a big gainer. But he couldn't get the interference he needed. He one-handed it.
Jim Lachey doesn't quite get the block out there on Evans, and Keith finally has to go inside.
Doug Smith, a superb catch as he leaped high, was upended on the way down by David Edwards. Buckeyes still short of a first down and want a timeout to talk it over. 1:19 left, second period. When play resumes, it will be Ohio State football at the OSU 36 with third and about 13 yards coming up for a first down.
This is a key third down possession coming up. If the Buckeyes can get this, they still have a chance to get down into the end zone. Ohio State on the sidelines. Mike White and his Illinois team is trying to, of course, come up with the perfect defensive play to stop the Buckeyes. But, of course, on the other sideline, Mike Tomczak is talking with the Buckeye coaching contingent as they're trying to come up with the right play to keep this drive going.
Does Coach Mike White's secondary shelve the man-to-man defense that they're so prominent for in a situation like this? Are they in some kind of a prevent zone, Paul?
At this point, they have to play it just pretty much straight coverage. There's a lot of time on the clock. Ohio State has most of its timeouts, and the Buckeyes can get good yardage underneath if they start to play loose and deep in a form of a prevent coverage. So they've got to play pretty straight and play pretty tough and pretty tight coverage now.
Buckeyes with 2 turnovers, and they have resulted in 14 Illinois points. Illinois just seconds ago committing their only turnover of the afternoon. Jamie Holland and Doug Smith are both in, split to the left. Tomczak throwing, it is broken up at the 46, penalty marker.
Big break for the Buckeyes on that play as
defensive holding signaled.
As you see, Holland is trying to work himself free, but there's a lot of contact right there. Illinois defender Todd Avery is pushing, shoving, and the officials were right there on the spot. They caught him, and that is going to be a costly mistake for the Illini.
So the holding call against the Illinois defense gives the Buckeyes an automatic first down just over the Ohio State 45. 1:12 left in the quarter. 1:12 until halftime. Buckeyes with 2 timeouts to go. They're 54 yards away from the Illinois end zone. Wooldridge and Byers are split. Byers nearly broke that one. He did get a first down. And after the running play by Byers, Ohio State gets a timeout. They have 1 left, 1:08 to go in the second quarter. As Byers chewed up a quick 11 yards, nearly went all the way.
number 31, Bob Sebring, will make perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as Byers starts to run just right at that point, but Sebring is up and in the hole, and he makes the hit. Steve Byers, 75 yards, 15 rushes. He has 1 touchdown for this afternoon.
Well, Byers has certainly been a workhorse for the Buckeyes, carrying the football some 25 to 30 times a game, has been receiving kickoffs, is number 1 in the country in all-purpose yards. Is it possible for a running back to tote the football too much, I wonder, Paul?
Well, as Paul Brown once said, when you have a big gun, you shoot it. And I think that Earl Bruce is certainly holding to that adage, because Keith Byers is a big gun. He does all the things that you want a back to do: run, catch, and even throw on occasion. So you have to shoot that big gun.
Play action. Tomczak's got a man open. Holland, no good at the 10-yard line. The junior college transfer, the intended receiver.
Mike Tomczak airing it out, going deep again for Holland down that sideline. He's being covered by 43, Avery. Holland will go high for the reception, but his momentum carries him out of bounds. And then once he hits the sideline, the ball pops out. But however, even if he would have made that reception, his momentum carried him out of bounds, and the pass would have been an incompletion.
Boy, if the Buckeyes could just get down into field goal range, that would be a big lift. That would get them to within 7. Doug Smith, no good at the 34. As Smith had to turn back into coverage to snare the football, David Edwards plowed into him just as the ball arrived. And it's 3rd down coming up.
Mike Tomczak doesn't have much time to throw this football as the blitz is on, as he feels pressure coming right into his face. Does a good job of getting it off. Smith has to turn around. Oh, he should have had that pass right there, Jack. Would have been a big play for Ohio State if Smith could have found the handle on the football.
Ohio State has 1 timeout remaining, 56 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Illinois stunning. Carter, a magnificent reception by Carter on the ground at the 24-yard line. Carter is really showing his stuff this afternoon. A timeout remaining. Ohio State has 50 seconds on the clock. Tomczak, Doug Smith. From the 14.5-yard line, Ohio State very close to a 1st down. The officials may stop the clock here to measure. Buckeyes have just called a timeout down on the field. They have none left.
Here's the play before Carter's catch, running a turn in, starts to the outside, turns in, and the ball will start to come. Right now, he has to go down low and scoop the ball before it strikes the surface. Look at that eye concentration. Number 9, Heaven, coming up from his corner position to make the stop, but a great catch by Carter.
Ohio State about a foot short of a 1st down. It'll be 2nd down and that much. Ohio State 14 yards away from a touchdown. 37 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Ohio State down by 10. Many fans, I'm sure, in the 2nd period were thinking, well, we've got 2+ quarters to get that 24 points back. The Buckeyes are on the verge of getting 21 of it back in less than 1 period.
Well, they'll have to make good use of the clock here. There's only 37 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll have to be very careful, cannot have any sacks, and must throw incompletions, if not, and certainly not interceptions.
Tomczak for Lanise. It's ruled a completion at the 5-yard line. Avery was on the tackle. Clock stops at 32 as the chains are advanced forward. The relentless comeback for the Buckeyes in the second quarter. Byers trying to run it in.
All right, here is the first play to Mike Lanise, the pass that sets up Keith Byers' touchdown run. A strike right into Lanise at about the 5-yard line. And now here is the touchdown run. Keith Byers, he simply does this all on his own. Eludes one Illini tackler. Now watch this as he flies through the air, a la Superman fashion. And there are a lot of folks in this conference that think he's Superman. And he got it in for the big touchdown. Ohio State, what a comeback in the second quarter.
Spangler for the PAT. He's on target. Ohio State is within 3. 24-21. It was all Illinois in the first quarter. All Ohio State here in the second. Keith Byers catapulting into the end zone. The Buckeyes are within 7.
All right, here they are again. Keith Byers following Roman Bates. Bates doesn't get a clean block, but Byers outruns the pursuit. Now he goes up, and away, and over, and in for the 6-pointer. Now the ground level shot. Byers looking for a place to run, swinging it wide. Tremendous leap into the end zone and over, and look at the excitement of all of the fans and the Buckeye people in the areas. Keith Byers puts it in the end zone. Ohio State is right back in the ballgame where they want to be.
Ohio State down by 3, not 7. Last thing I want to do is shortchange the Byers touchdown. Ohio State trails by 24-21. Spangler will kick it deep. It's a line driver down to the 6-yard line. There's an alley. Wilson tracks it back out to the 34. 16 seconds to go. First half.
Touchdown drive was 10 yards, 62 yards.
The highly respected Illinois secondary was just riddled by the Buckeye passing game, led by Tom Zach and a fine core of receivers in that second quarter. And the Bucks have answered Illinois' first 24 points with 21 of their own, setting the stage for an exciting second half of football here at Ohio Stadium. Illini elect to run out the clock. That's the last play of the first half. Clock winding down, 5, 4, 3. And the first half has come to a close here at Ohio Stadium. Our score, Illinois 24, Ohio State 21. We'll be back with the second half of Buckeye football in a moment.
Broadcast and production of Ohio State football is provided in part through a funding grant from the City Loan and Savings Company of Lima, Ohio. And transportation services have been provided by Trans-Midwest Airlines.
Next on WonderWorks, who has seen the wind?
That not even the most profligate among us is beyond recall.
How's your dad? I don't know. Is it true that he turned all yellow?
Monday night at 8.
The new fall season on Public TV.
Everyone knows how Ben Franklin happened to discover electricity. But what spacecraft went to Jupiter and Saturn? When does an embryo become a fetus? What's the world's fastest train? Find out on Nova's first National Science Test. Play along with a celebrity panel and host Art Fleming, Tuesday, October 16th.
Tuesday night at 8.
To perform the perfect dive, Olympic champion Greg Louganis needs not only a finely tuned body, he also needs a finely tuned brain. How does his brain engineer such complex, exquisite movement that even the most sophisticated robot can no way rival? And why does the brain fail to control movement in a Parkinson's disease victim like comedian Terry Thomas? Vision and movement in The Brain.
Wednesday night at 8. WVIZ TV 25, Cleveland.
It's halftime here at Ohio Stadium with the score, the Illini 24, the Buckeyes 21. Now let's enjoy some halftime activities down on the field with the Ohio State Marching Band and its band director, John Woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jazz It Up, Homecoming 1984. The Ohio State University Marching Band presents the musical arrangements of alumni John Tagenhorst and James Swearingen in a bit of nostalgia that we call Stadium Encores. This jazz classic of 1979, The Children of Sanchez. The year was 1974. The Buckeyes were Rose Bowl bound. The highlight of that magnificent halftime show was John Tagenhorst's brilliant arrangement of MacArthur Park. bells and the chimes, the music of Tchaikovsky, the arranging talents of Jim Swearingen, and 200 brass and percussionists bring our stadium encores to a spectacular finale with the overture to 1812. Gentlemen, under the direction of Dr. John Woods, the Ohio State University Marching Band. The combined bands will perform a post-game show.
And that concludes today's halftime activities here at Ohio Stadium with the halftime score, Illinois 24, Ohio State 21. We'll be back with more Buckeye football in just a moment.
Broadcast and production of Ohio State football is provided in part through a funding grant from City Loan and Savings of Lima, with offices throughout the state of Ohio. And transportation services have been provided by Trans-Midwest Airlines, serving 7 Midwest cities with scheduled passenger service.
It's the second half of Buckeye football. Jack Kramer with Paul Warfield from Ohio Stadium in Columbus. We're seconds away from the start of the third quarter. Illinois leads the Buckeyes 24-21 as the Buckeyes came up with 3 touchdowns in the second period following Illinois' third score. Illinois led at one time 24-0 in this game. Their third touchdown was a pass to Boso.
All right, this is Jack Trudeau. He's looking for Boso, the tight end, number 82. He finds him right at the goal line. Thomas Johnson on the stop, but no, it is 24-0 for Illinois at this juncture in the game. However, the Buckeyes come back. First of all, striking with Keith Byers as he makes a neat 16-yard run. Watch this spin away from a tackler. Now he'll turn around, go straight upfield, and get into the end zone, completing a 16-yard run to make the score at that count 24-7 Illinois. Buckeyes, however, in a span of 4 minutes, come right back. Here is the big play. Mike Tomczak on a little bit of razzle-dazzle and hurried, but will loft a high floating pass. Chris Carter makes a sensational catch right at the goal line, going high between 3 Illinois defenders to put the ball in 24-14 at that point, Illini. Now, here is the clincher. Keith Byers, one of his most spectacular runs of the entire year, around left end, extremely wide. Watch him with great determination go high into the air and into the end zone, closing the gap to 24-21. Illinois over Ohio State at that point. It has been practically an even ball game, Jack, and I guess the statistics will reflect that. But Ohio State came back in great shape in the second quarter. As you said earlier in the ball game, the first quarter belonged to Illinois. The second quarter belonged to the Buckeyes. We look at the statistics. We have just about even total yardage, 296 for Ohio State, 283 for Illinois. It is almost an even ball game. The only thing that separates the Buckeyes and the Illini at this point is the three-pointer on the scoreboard, 24-21.
3 turnovers so far in this game, and the Illini capitalized on the 2 Ohio State turnovers, turned them into 14 points. And following the Buckeye interception of the Trudeau pass late in the second quarter, Ohio State turned that into a touchdown. In the third down passing category today, with 45%, the passing rate that quarterbacks need to have in order to effectively move their offenses consistently down the field. We see that Trudeau is 4 of 6 in third down passing conversions. Tomczak 2 of 4.
However, Mike Tomczak at one point in the ball game was negative, and he's come back in the second half to bring that percentage up to 50% mark, and so he's playing very well right now, particularly in the third down possession. But Jack Trudeau has been on top of it all ball game long, so it all adds up to a whale of a second half, I think, Jack.
Those third down passing figures, I think, will be even more critical and will reflect more how this game is proceeding here in the second half, because in that second quarter, Illinois was back in more of a prevent defense, and Tomczak was completing a lot of first and second down passes and really didn't have many critical third down tries on those Buckeye touchdown marches in the second period. So we'll have to watch that third down passing conversion percentage figure for both quarterbacks very closely in the second half. Spangler kicks it off about 4 yards deep. Illinois is going to come out with it. It's Wilson. Fumble. Who's got it? Who's got it? Ohio State, maybe. Let's see. Ohio State football.
Wilson will take this ball about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Number 5, Jeff Carguy will make a big hit. He causes Wilson to stumble. Wilson fumbles the football. The ball is loose, and number 37, William White, is right on it for the Buckeyes. Big break for Ohio State. Buckeyes have a chance to go on top now.
And no sooner do we talk about turnovers than one crops up for Illinois, and the Buckeyes have got great field position. Illinois 26. This is Byers. Illinois 9-yard line.
All right, Keith Byers will take the handoff. He starts inside, then he bounces outside. Now watch him outrun the linebacker. Number 27, Dave Edwards, the strong safety, will grab on and pull Byers forward for a few additional yards. Big run for Keith Byers right off the top. He's really rolling now. 17 rushes on the day and 97 yards as Keith Byers is really starting to let back the throttle.
Byers barreling down to about the 6-yard line. Mike Heaven on the tackle. And that psychological factor, momentum, which plays such a significant role in many sporting events, is playing a very important role in this game this afternoon. It swung Ohio State's favor early in the second quarter. Byers down to the 1. Ayers on the tackle.
Byers this time blasts straight ahead right over center Kurt Loudermilk, and also right guard Scott Zielinski. The big fella just powers his way and stretches as he tries to get the football into the end zone. Buckeyes are exactly a half a yard away from pay dirt.
Third and goal from the 1. Just inside the 1-yard line. Tomczak gives it to Byers. He's got it.
Keith Byers, he goes by land, but he certainly goes by air, as you'll see right here, up and over the top. There are a lot of Illini tacklers in there, but nobody can stop him. Ground level shot. Byers going up. Ellsworth, number 34, will attempt. No, he does doesn't make it. 15 Havens. He falls on after it, but Keith Byers is into the end zone for the third time today. Byers now is looking at 20 rushes for 106 yards.
Spangler's point after is good. Ohio State with an unbelievable comeback has stormed into the lead, 28-24. 13:40 left in the third quarter.
Keith Byers does it again for the third time this afternoon, up and over the top. That's Ellsworth, 34, Heaven, number 15. Neither one of them can stop the big fella as he goes up and in for the six-pointer to give the Ohio State Buckeyes a pay dirt.
Third and goal from the one. Just inside the 1-yard line, Tom Zach gives it to Byers. He's got it.
Keith Byers, he goes by land, but he certainly goes by air, as you'll see right here, up and over the top. There are a lot of Illini tacklers in there, but nobody can stop him. Ground level shot. Byers going up. Ellsworth, number 34, will attempt. No, he doesn't make it. 15 Havens. He falls on after it, but Keith Byers is into the end zone for the third time today. Byers now is looking at 20 rushes for 106 yards.
Spangler's point after is good. Ohio State with an unbelievable comeback has stormed into the lead, 28-24. 13:40 left in the third quarter.
Keith Byers does it again for the third time this afternoon, up and over the top. That's Ellsworth, 34, Heaven, number 15. Neither one of them can stop the big fella as he goes up and in for the six-pointer to give the Ohio State Buckeyes a lead of 28-24 in this ball game. Ohio State showing great character and coming back from a big deficit of 24-0. Byers, 20 rushes, 106 yards, and 3 touchdowns today.
Buckeyes on top by 4. Our statistician, Steve Basford, tells us the Buckeyes have rattled off 28 points in the last 5 minutes and 33 seconds of this football game. Keith Byers on the sideline now has gone over the 100-yard mark, rushing the football 11 of his last 13 games. Joe Henderson, or Jim Henderson, I should say, our spotter up here in the booth with his eagle eye, picked up William White as the man who recovered that fumble on the Illinois kickoff return. And the momentum, which was in the Buckeyes' favor in the second quarter, has been quickly captured by Ohio State again, forcing the turnover and quickly capitalizing on the Illinois miscue with points. Quickly, the Buckeyes go 26 yards in 4 plays. And the lead is 4 now for the Bucks, the first advantage they've enjoyed this afternoon. Forwards the Buckeyes on top. Spangler drills the kickoff. This is Wilson. He won't dare come out with that one.
Now, Jack, the challenge will be on the Ohio State defense as they will have to contain this multiple formation and motion offense of the Fighting Illini. The Illini offense during the first half moved the ball practically at will up and down the field. We'll see if the Buckeyes can make the necessary adjustments now in the second half.
What wind there is blowing across field from east to west. It's really not a factor today. Buckeyes employing the nickel back. 5 people in the secondary. David Williams being chased by Leach. Logan gets him. Leach helps out at the 34-yard line. It's a 14-yard gainer. This Williams, the leading receiver in the country coming into this game.
Well, Leach is playing bump and run right there, but he allows Williams to get inside. Trudeau just waits until Williams comes open, throws him the football, and allows him to do his thing running the football. And Williams has run out of bounds.
Draw play, Rooks. And he is banged down across the 35. Fred Ritter was the first man to hit him waist high. Gain of about 4 on the play. Second down and a long 6, perhaps closer to 7 to go for a first down.
Draw play has been a very effective one for Illinois all afternoon long. They've run it in certainly in pass type situations, and it's been a good gainer for them.
Trudeau. Completion to Boso. He's covered immediately and knocked out by Rogan. Short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 2 coming up.
All afternoon, Cap Boso has been the man that Trudeau has gone to in the possession in short passing situations. This time he's looking around and he'll find Boso out in the left flat. Rogan will come up just to bounce him out of bounds, but Boso makes a nice gainer of about 8 yards on the play.
Big play. Possession play for the Illini. 3rd and 2. Illinois must get the football across the 44. Rooks circling the corner. First down at the 45. Rogan came up to provide support for the Buckeyes against the run. Brasilius was over there on top of the ball carrier. But at the 46, it's a first down, Illinois.
2 tough yards to get, but Thomas Rooks, who is a good pick and slide runner, always finds the daylight, bounces outside. Rogan comes up to meet him tough, but Rooks overpowers him and gets upfield to get the extra 2 yards. Thomas Rooks today, now 96 yards, 15 tries, which is not a bad afternoon for him.
Trudeau rifling a short pass to Wilson. He's dumped at the 47 of Ohio State by Fred Ritter. Fred Ritter and Thomas Johnson are the inside linebackers. It was Reese, 81, not 21, on the reception for Illinois.
Again, Trudeau is showing a great discipline and great poise. Even though his team is now behind, he is still doing the things that has made Illinois all successful all afternoon, throwing the short controlled passes.
Second down, about 4 for a first down. Trudeau perhaps checking off at the line of scrimmage. Quick out to the 41, down inside the 35. David Boatwright, the backup split in to David Williams, hauled it in. Ritter chased him out of bounds.
Jack Trudeau, very adept at audibilizing at the line of scrimmage, hits the quick pass. Houston runs beyond. He had Boatwright cornered, but he ran beyond his coverage area, and Boatwright simply cut back up field and got some additional yardage.
Fred Ritter, number 90, seeing a lot of action in place of Larry Kolick today. Trudeau is 21 of 27, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns. He dumps it deflected by Houston or Giuliani. Let's see, Giuliani got a hand on it. Dennis Houston was also in the neighborhood. That's a big play, forcing 2nd and 10 now, and a passing situation for the Illini. Dennis Houston may have been the one who got a paw up on the last pass by Trudeau as he and Giuliani were waving their arms frantically at the thrown ball by Trudeau. Broken up, a fine defensive play at the 30-yard line, turned in by Byron Lee. And it's 3rd and 10 now for the Illini.
Byron Lee, sitting in his line back position, figured that play out just at the right time, almost knifed in between the intended receiver, number 181, Jerry Reese, to make a key interception.
Brasilius is checked out. Buckeyes have 5 defensive backs in there now. 3rd and 10. Trudeau to Rooks. He's going to be stopped short of the first down. Tackle by Scott Leach, and Chris White may attempt a field goal. It'll be a monster. He sets the tee down at the 36. It'll be a 46-yard try. He's got a 52-yarder to his credit already this year. So he can boot him 46 yards and further. Again, the wind is very little factor. A slight breeze blowing across field. Nearly blocked by Leach, but the kick is sailing high and it's good. So Chris White cuts the Ohio State lead to 28-27. Early in the third quarter, almost like a basketball score.
That was an excellent kick by Chris White. It was from the right hash mark. It was not an easy angle with distance on it too, and he calmly just thumped the ball through the crossbars. Although White gets this kickoff, Leach, number 8, nearly gets a piece of it, but great concentration by Chris White as he kept his head down, followed through, knocked the ball through the uprights.
So the Illinois offense had to settle for 3 as the Buckeye defense, once the Illini got down inside the Ohio State 35, did a commendable job. We've seen a lot of Fred Ritter today for Larry Kolick, who left in the first half after being shaken up. This Fred Ritter is a 6'2", 234-pound freshman from Eaton, Ohio. He was an All-Ohio linebacker and fullback. So he is getting the call. Chris Spielman not available today. The Illini drive resulting in the field goal, 9 plays, using 2:58 off the clock. Chris White kicking off, twisting it down to Byers, 3.5 yards deep. Here he comes. Breaking tackles out across the 20 to the 23. Tried to convince the official they recovered a fumble, but nothing to it. Mike McBain on the tackle for the Illini. Buckeyes have first down at the 23.
Very risky business, kicking the ball to this man. He's a threat to do it at any time, meaning go all the way, and he spins away from a tackler, nearly gets all the way, but number 45, Mike McBain, comes in just as Byers is spinning away and brings him down.
Buckeyes averaging nearly 34 points a game this year. Illinois over 25 a contest. They both exceeded those numbers so far in a little over 2 quarters of football. A lot of contact short of the 40-yard line. Carter bumped around a little bit by Mike Kevin, but the official says it was fair play, and the pass by Tom Zach is incomplete.
Little bit of indecision on that official that time as he reached back for the flag, and then he changed his mind. As you see, Heaven is starting to crowd Carter, makes contact, impedes Carter's ability to get to the ball. That looked like interference.
Trouble is, Paul, you don't have black stripes on the white sweater you're wearing up here today.
And I'm also a little bit biased as far as receivers are concerned.
Second down, 10. Byers right up the middle. He's got a first down to the 33 or 4-yard line. Mike Kevin on the tackle.
This is the stuff that great backs are made out of. Watch him skip right through the line of scrimmage, find the opening. Now he starts upfield. Heaven comes in from his corner position, goes low. The only way that you can stop Byers to bring him down, but not after Keith Byers has gained another first down for Ohio State.
Scott Zelensky turned in a nice block on that play to help free Byers. Of course, Keith oftentimes doesn't need a whole lot of help. Byers gets the nod for about 4 more. 10 minutes left in the third quarter. A lot of football left to be played. Dave Ina, a defensive end, and Steve Nelson, a defensive tackle, in there on the hit. Byers has rushed for 100 yards or more in 10 of his last 12 regular season games. Second down and 6 following Byers' first down run of 4. And movement as it appeared Karowitz jumped off sides. pass by Tomczak preceded the Ohio State infraction.
Mike Tomczak was electing to change the signal at the line of scrimmage. Mark Karowicz, number 73, did not quite hold his poise as he may, as you see Tomczak turn and look to change the signal. Karowicz gets off the ball, firing off the ball. However, it was a big error as the Buckeyes will lose 5 yards for illegal procedure on the flag.
Coming into the game today, Buckeyes averaging short of 30 yards a game in penalties, which is not a poor statistic. They have kept the infractions down for the most part this season. Draw play, Byers springs to the outside. Look at him go.
Slide up into the hole, gets behind. Good blocking on the outside. Now he's down the sidelines, and he simply runs out of his shoe. He's running so fast. Keith Byers cutting back to the field. Gets a block downfield. He outruns Heaven. He outruns the entire secondary swoop. He outruns Ayers, and these are guys who run on the Illinois track and field team.
Critical extra point, but Spangler is good. Buckeyes have an 8-point lead, 35-27, with 8 minutes and 57 seconds left in the third quarter, and just a tremendous college football game. The Buckeyes at one time trailed by a score of 24-0, and Ohio State is now on top by 8, 35-27. Trying to catch his breath on the sideline. Byers
touchdown run. Keith Byers touchdown run. Chris Carter is downfield. Watch him get a block on number 9 right there, Heaven, as he's staying with him, and he'll block him, and Byers simply scoots by Heaven at that point, off on his way to the races, and for a big touchdown run. Keith Byers going all the way. Look at the full play. Worth looking at again. Byers takes the handoff. That's number 74, Scott Zielinski, getting a great block. All right, Byers is now down the sidelines. He's cutting back to the field, loses his shoe. Carter gets a block. Now he outruns the secondary. A secondary that is made up of Illinois track and field stars. Keith Byers, great speed for a big man. He now has 23 rushes for 188 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Keith Byers is just 10 yards short of 1,000 on the year running the football, and at this pace, he would break Archie Griffin's single-season rushing mark at Ohio State. Keith Byers running like a man possessed. Coach Mike White said this week that Keith Byers is an impact player. Well, that may have been an understatement.
When I watch Keith Byers play, the only thing that I see is that he makes a lot of things happen every time he touches the football. So whether you want to call it impact, whether you want to call it excitement, or whether you want to call it domination, he has it all. All right, the Buckeyes, 4 plays for 77 yards and a minute and 38 seconds off the clock. 67-yard run by Keith Byers.
Here's the return. Nope, no return by Illinois, as Wilson wants no part of it. Boy, the turnovers today have been critical. Illinois cashed in on Ohio State's 2 mistakes. Got 2 touchdowns as a result late in the first quarter. The Buckeyes have cashed in on Illinois turnovers since. That was Byers' longest run of his career. The course, last week he had his best day running the football in his career. This is Rooks. Fred Ritter smacked him after about a 3-yard pickup. Dennis Houston aided him as Rooks nearly lost the football.
Thomas Rooks taking this straight handoff, almost loses the football, is hit hard by Ritter and brought down. Second down, about 6 yards to go.
Fine game being turned in by Fred Ritter from Eaton, Ohio. Trudeau looking, throwing short, complete at the 29. Thomas Johnson on the coverage. Cap Boso caught it. Forward progress up short of the 30. It'll be third down and a foot. John Sullivan is checked in for Scott Leach as the Buckeyes add some beef as they try to protect against the third down run. Illinois just a foot short of a first down. Trudeau sneaks it for a yard. It should be an Illinois first down. It is. Dave Morrill checks back in. Anthony Giuliani checking out, as does Sullivan. Sullivan, a junior from Chicago, a 253-pounder, was in on the last play for the Ohio State defense. Clock is moving, 7:43 to go in the third quarter. Ohio State 35, Illinois 27. Trudeau arching one down the sideline, no good. Intended for Randy Grant. The Buckeyes were beginning to converge on him. Trudeau had laid it out there. If Grant had managed to haul that football in, one Buckeye was about ready to sock it to him.
Buckeyes were in a deep zone coverage with safety coming over Sonny Gordon to apply the hit. It would have been a tough or tight fit to put the ball in.
5 defensive backs are in for Ohio State, including Scott Leach. Trudeau wants to hit Boso. It is incomplete, nearly intercepted. Dennis Houston almost caught the rebound. Fine defensive effort by Houston.
Dennis Houston down at the bottom of your screen jams Boso, then follows him and does a well of a job on the play to keep him from making the reception. Dennis Houston, the man who made it happen for Ohio State on that particular play.
Trudeau's figures are starting to fall off a little bit. He's now 23 for 33. Third and 10 for Illinois at the Illinois 31. Trudeau for Williams, no first down, buck fumble. Ohio State's got it. Or at least I think the Buckeyes have got it. Oh, the Illini got it. Jim Juriga, the fine tackle, but still the Illini have got to punt the football.
David Williams sliding inside of Leach. Nice move inside. He'll catch a short pass, not nearly deep enough for the first down, but he is really rammed on that particular play by Fred Ritter. Ball pops loose. Buckeyes look like they have it somehow or another. Juriga comes up with the football for the Illini.
Here's the punt by Little. Dino Dawson at the 28-yard line. Mike Scully was downfield for the Illinois Special Teams unit to make the tackle. 44-yard punt. To set back to the west behind Ohio Stadium. The portable lighting here at Ohio Stadium now beginning to take effect. Trudeau 6 for 8 on third downs and passing the football. Tomczak 2 of 4. course, keep in mind, Trudeau just completed a third down pass, but the Buckeyes defense rose to the occasion and stopped it short of a first down.
That one you have to give to the Buckeye defense because they made it happen. Trudeau didn't really make it happen, although he's getting credit for the third down completion. Ohio State controlled the play.
Six and a half minutes plus left in the third period. Buckeyes by 8. Byers, outside tackle, wrapped up by a couple of Illini. Mark Taggart was in there. Steve Nelson assisted. Taggart, 54, is a junior college transfer. Mike White's got a host of them. What do you think about that philosophy, Paul, of bringing in junior college people with experience elsewhere?
Well, it's worked very well for Mike White in the short term to rebuild a football program. He had to. He felt he had to do it. Of course, most of the Ohio State roster is homebred Ohio young men.
Second down, 8 for Tom Zach and the Buckeyes. Barry Walker carried over left guard for a couple. Walker hails from Lancaster, Ohio. Dwayne Pugh on the hit. So the Buckeyes run it twice and net just 3 plays, and they have 3rd and 7 as Ohio State takes somewhat of a conservative approach to the first 2 plays in this possession.
This may be a tough possession for the Buckeyes. They're definitely in a pass situation. Illinois probably will come with a stunt from the interior line or blitz to apply pressure.
The Illini, they've got 6 people up on the defensive front. Tom Zach looking for Byers. He can't hang on. Pretty good defensive play by George Arvanitis, who leaped in front of Byers.
Illinois, with a lot of people stacked up in the line, they're coming with the blitz, all-out pressure on Mike Tomczak, who's feeling the heat, delivers the ball a little early, but Arvanitis covering Byers one-on-one out there makes a great play.
Fine job of the Buckeye offensive line as they held that blitz out nicely. Tomczak is 13 for 22, 209 yards, and a touchdown pass to Carter. Can't say enough about that Buckeye offensive line. Coming into the game today, they had given up just 4 sacks of Tomczak. Tupa belts it down to the 21-yard line. Arvanitis is back across the 35 to the 37. 4:56 to go, third quarter. Ohio State 35, Illinois 27.
Buckeyes seem to be making an adjustment in their pass coverage, Jack, to not allow the Illinois tight end to run as freely in the open spots. He's been the out man for Trudeau on a lot of the pass situations. They're making it much more difficult for the tight end to release and get into the pass coverage, get into the pass pattern as of the last series.
Buckeyes have 2 linebackers and 2 defensive linemen up on the defensive front. And Rooks rips for a first down, about a 15-yard gain to the Ohio State 48. Sonny Gordon on the tackle. Byron Lee assisted.
Illinois doesn't forget what they do best, and they've come back to this middle play, draw play, or delay play time and time again, and Rooks has made great yardage on it. He makes great yardage here again. Stopped by number 7, Sonny Gordon.
Darrell Lee is now in, along with Berselius. They're in the middle along that defensive front. Trudeau with time. It is too high at the 31-yard line. That's the second time this afternoon Randy Grant has taken footsteps out of the field of play and then come back in to try to catch the football.
It definitely appeared on the last play that Randy Grant was out of bounds. He came back in the field of play to make the catch, or to attempt to make the catch.
Trudeau, 24 of 35, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. That gives him 11 touchdowns throwing on the season. is Rooks, outside left tackle. Nice play by Fred Ritter as he dragged him down from behind. Rooks might have gone for 9 or 10 yards. Ritter stopped it short of that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for Illinois at the Ohio State 43. We're near the 4-minute mark, 3rd quarter.
This has been the situation, Jack, all day long that quarterback Jack Trudeau has looked for his tight ends. He has number 82, Cap Bozo, in the ball game right now, and he has made key catches in 3rd down possessions.
Trudeau with time. Wilson on the catch. He's stacked up at about the 37. It appears as though he's got the 1st down. He juggled and held on, then Darrell Lee wrapped him up, but it's a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
Ray Wilson will slide underneath the coverage as the linebackers of Ohio State drop back deep in coverage. Trudeau will just dump the ball underneath to him. Then Wilson will fight for as much yardage. He gets enough yardage for the 1st down.
3 minutes, 30 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, Ohio State by 8. This is Rooks, bouncing off tacklers, he scrambles for about 4. Sonny Gordon finished him off. William White got up from the pile. Rooks, a year ago against the Buckeyes, carried for 85 yards and 14 carries. He's got over 100 yards today, 123 and 19 rushes. It's over his average of about 97 per game. Mark Pfister now in with Thomas Johnson at linebacker. 2nd and 6. Trudeau sprints left, wants to find Williams. Completion inside the 25 to Grant. White took his wheels out from under him immediately, but it's another Illini 1st down.
Trudeau is simply amazing. He will roll to his left. He can't find the intended receivers. He's looking for left. Now he starts to go back right, but he scans the field and quickly finds Randy Grant for the reception. Again, the ground level look. Trudeau going to his left, looking, can't find, recocks his arm, and he'll find Randy Grant back over here on the right side of the field, who's hit instantly by William White.
This is Rooks sliding. Not much room as the Buckeyes swing it out. A wave of scarlet-shirted Buckeyes surrounded Rooks. Dave Morrill and Byron Lee were there. And that will bring up 2nd and 6 from the 20 as we near the 2-minute mark in the 3rd quarter. Buckeyes lead by 8, 35 to 27.
Fine job done by the Ohio State interior defensive line and the linebackers as they just stretch that play out, not giving Rooks very much room to run.
Randy Grant, 4 catches, 71 yards today. Gary Alders is checked in for Ohio State at linebacker. This is Rooks, zipping to the 10, to the 9-yard line. Goal to go for Illinois from the Ohio State 9. Greg Rogan in the tackle.
We've seen this play all afternoon, a counter trap, good blocking by the Illini line, good blocking downfield, and Rooks has made a lot of yardage off that play. Thomas Rooks now at 138 yards, rushing on 21 tries, and he's way above his average of a little over 90 yards per game.
Trudeau perhaps changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Looks for Wilson. It is no good. Broken up by Rogan. Greg Rogan, the freshman from Urbana, with a timely leap to deflect the ball away from the grasp of Wilson.
Rogan did not go to sleep as Trudeau rolls left, but he really wants to throw way back right, but Rogan is right in the path of the pass, and the intended receiver, Wilson, knocks it down. As you see, flow goes away from Rogan to the left, but Trudeau will stop back and throw right. However, Rogan is staying at home and doing his job as he knocks the ball away for the intended receiver, Wilson.
This is Wilson, touchdown. As Wilson and Grant appeared to run a little crossing pattern,
It was a crossing pattern with Wilson coming from the right inside. Got caught into traffic, pressure on Trudeau, but he stays in there with a lot of poise and just drops the pass to Wilson, who was wide open into the end zone. Trudeau, as you see, going high to throw the ball. He's got his man Wilson wide open. No one coming. Kolek, number 33, closest man in the area, but he's not close enough.
It's 35-33. Illinois will go for two. They'll try to tie it up. Trudeau. He may have to run it. It's a tie game at 35. 35 all.
Trudeau really wants to throw this football. As you see him start to his right, he's looking, can't find anybody. Then he realizes that he's got an opening, and he goes for it. 97, Dave Crecilius, and 98, Thomas Johnson can't quite get there to make the stop. Ground level, as you see Trudeau, his eyes are downfield. He wants to throw this football. Then he gets to a point and makes up his mind that there's no one open, and he goes for it and lunges for the final couple of yards into the end zone to tie the ball game at 35 all.
1 minute, 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Jubilation among the Illini crowd as they have drawn even 35-35. As the touchdown and the two-point conversion culminated perhaps Illinois' most effective offensive thrust since the first period of this game. That was Illinois' first touchdown since early in that second quarter. Byers, or I should say Wooldridge, he breaks out of the pack to the 21. So from just across the 20, the Buckeyes will launch this drive, 1st and 10, with 1:03 left in the quarter. Steve Brazis made the tackle for Illinois. And now you sense, Paul, that the Buckeyes must do something on offense here to break what momentum Illinois has established. A 63-yard drive took 10 plays. Illinois chewed nearly 5 minutes off the clock. Trudeau hit Wilson on the touchdown pass. This is Byers behind some good blocking. Forges out to the 27-yard line. Boy, you can't say enough about the Buckeye offensive front. Zalewski playing a little hurt today, but he's doing a commendable job paving the way for Keith Byers. Kirk Loudermilk at center, Jim Lachey at guard. Lachey, the lineman of the week on offense against Purdue a week ago. Graves and Krarowitz, your tackles. This is Byers. He's got the first down and then some. Out to the 35. As Byers leaps over the 1,000-yard rushing mark on the season. And he's done it in less than 6 football games. And he's going to take a rest. 205 yards for Keith Byers is a career high, breaking his previous career high mark of a week ago against the Purdue Boilermakers. Johnny Wooldridge running, bouncing off people. There's a flag down. Wooldridge could go all the way. However, there is a penalty marker down in the Buckeye backfield as Wooldridge slip tackles and bolted some 60 yards for a touchdown, but it's going to be brought back.
Well, that one really hurts, Jack. You never know when a big play is going to occur, and in most instances when big plays do occur, there's an infraction.
So from the 30, it'll be 1st and 15. As the official is doing some explaining to Buckeye George Cooper. final seconds have ticked off to end the third period here at Ohio Stadium. Our score, Ohio State 35, Illinois 35. We'll be back with more Buckeye football in a moment.
Broadcast and production of Ohio State football is provided in part through a funding grant from the City Loan and Savings Company of Lima, Ohio. And transportation services have been provided by Trans-Midwest Airlines.
This is Jack Kramer with Paul Warfield at Ohio Stadium. It's Ohio State 35, Illinois 35. Well, the last play, or what we thought was the last play of the third quarter, was a penalty play in which the Buckeyes were hit with a 5-yard infraction. The teams had changed ends. The officials had signaled the end of the third quarter. The clock had run down to 0, but the period has not officially come to a close. The ball has been respotted at the 30, and we'll have another play. Line of scrimmage, the 30-yard line, 1st and 15 for the Buckeyes. The scoreboard clock has got 2 zeros under official time. I knew a half or the end of the game could not end on a penalty. But that's the close of the third quarter, or what would have been the end of the third period.
Apparently a little more time that's remaining on the clock, but of course, as you said, Jack, the scoreboard clock is showing no time.
First and 15 for the Buckeyes. Last play of the period. This is Byers. Now he's got to go the other way, and he makes about 3 yards out of it. Byers wanted to go outside left tackle. In fact, he ran about 12 or 15 yards, made 3 out of it on his own. And that running play by Byers will wind up the third period. Buckeyes will have second down and about 11 when the fourth quarter resumes. So we've come to the end of the third period from Ohio Stadium with the score, the Buckeyes 35, the Illini 35.
The McNeil-Lehrer News Hour brings you an up-to-the-minute news rundown as well as in-depth extended coverage of the day's top news stories. You'll learn all the facts of the news you need to know through a mixture of interviews, documentary footage, and discussions. Join us for Public Television's alternative to the network news, the McNeil-Lehrer News Hour, weeknights at 6:30. WVIZ TV 25 Cleveland, your community station.
This is Jack Kramer with Paul Warfield as we're set now to officially start the fourth period of play. Buckeyes 35, Illinois 35. Second down, 11. Play action. Tom Zach. He's got a man wide open. It's Chris Carter. First down near midfield. John Ayers in the tackle. Carter appeared to run a very slick pass route, and the Illini defenders just lost it.
Growing confidence of Chris Carter. Mike Tomczak, after the play action fake, will find Carter in the middle of this coverage. He goes high to make the reception, knows where he is, runs away from Illini defenders. Sebring 31. Also, Ayers, number 15, who makes the stop, but it's a first down for the Buckeyes.
Long cadence by Tomczak. Byers. about 11 yards more. David Edwards flushed him out of bounds.
Slow developing play. Byers running behind Roy Grace. Also 64, Jim Lachey. Now it starts to open up for him. He clears the way and gets down the sidelines for more yardage. Edwards, number 27 of Illinois, bounces him out. All right, here's the numbers for Byers. 28 rushes, 218 yards, and 4 TDs.
George Cooper has checked in for the Buckeyes. Number 44 from New York. He's now in the backfield. Johnny Woolridge. Byers' previous play was shy of a first down by about 2 feet. Woolridge may have picked up a foot of those 2 feet on that play. Ohio State still short. So it will be 3rd down and about 12 inches for a first down. Dave Ina, the defensive end, made the last tackle on Woolridge. Coach Earl Bruce and his staff have done a fine job motivating the Buckeyes, bringing them back, helping bring them back from a big deficit. 8 seconds left on the play clock. Tomczak gets it off. Woolridge first down to the 30.
John Woolridge will show a lot of determination as he follows Cooper, gets a good block. Number 44, Woolridge gets into the hole, spins away from one tackler. There are 3 other Illini tacklers waiting for him, but Woolridge has the first down. 5 rushes for Woolridge today and 22 yards.
Line of scrimmage inside the Illinois 29. Carter right, Lanise left. This is Byers. And he backsteps his way for a gain of about 2 or 3. Byers staying on his feet as long as he could. He required about 3 people to get him down. He picked up 2. 2nd down, 8. Steve Nelson and Sam Ellsworth were the Illinois pair on the hit. Minutes, 5 seconds to go, 4th quarter, 35 all. Ohio State and Illinois in a thriller. Byers trying to cut off the block of Lachey, and he wedged out about 3. So it will be 3rd down, a long 5 for Ohio State. 3rd, a long 5. The ball on the right hash mark. The game is tied. A field goal from here would be some 47 yards. Buckeyes would like to punch it closer.
Buckeyes need to get the 6-pointer. The way Illinois is moving the football, a field goal will not be enough.
Tomczak with time for Carter. Another in a long line of superb catches by Chris Carter today.
Mike Tomczak will hit Chris Carter in the flat. It's a blitz. Gets the ball off quickly. Carter will go high in the air. Good fingertip catch, concentration. George Arvanis comes up to make the stop, but it is a first down for the Buckeyes.
And that was one of those very critical 3rd down passing conversions by the quarterback, Tomczak. Carter with 7 catches, 133 yards. Byers is rolled down at the 15. Ron Baum, the 240-pound junior tackle for Illinois, pinned him to the turf. Dwayne Pugh aided him. Ball spotted at the 16. Gain of only 1, so it's 2nd and 9. 11 and a half minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Ohio State 35, Illinois 35. Illinois displays a 7-man front. Tomczak a quickie to Lanise. And Lanise is wrestled down at the 13. He was covered by Todd Avery, a short pickup of about 3.
Ground level shot. Mike Tomczak, this checkoff and quick pass to Mike Lenise, who tries to spin and wheel away from Todd Avery, but Avery makes a fine defensive stop on the play. Lenise has 5 receptions and 67 yards.
Rosa has checked out at tight end. Hutchison is in. Lenise is split left. Carter to the right. 3rd down. 3rd and 7. Tomczak is down. He gets rid of the ball. It's incomplete. There's a penalty marker. Let's see if the call is grounding. It is. A very difficult decision for Mike Tomczak to make in the heat of the game.
Ground level shot of Mike Tomczak on the play action. Great pressure by Illinois. He simply doesn't have any place to throw the ball. Pugh, the man who makes the stop, has his face mask. That's a call that could go either way, as Tomczak's face mask is completely pulled. He throws the ball. The officials rule intentional grounding by Mike Tomczak, but they also could have called face masking by Dwayne Pugh, number 18.
A 47-yard field goal try by Spangler. He's 1 for 1 between 40 and 49 out this year. It's got enough leg. It's good. So Spangler, who is perfect on the year between 40 and 49 yards out, has just enough distance, and the Buckeyes are on top by 3 as Spangler gets Ohio State over the hump. 38-35 Buckeyes.
Rich Spangler giving the sign, clear and through the goalpost, and a big kick by Rich Spangler.
You know, Paul, the coaching staff can recruit players. They can employ strategy all week long. But perhaps serving as the wall of motivator is the toughest job for them. Earl Bruce and his Buckeyes were facing a deficit early in this game of 24-0, but Earl and the coaching staff rallied the troops. What a heck of a job they've done today. You can't say enough for them.
It certainly was a great job by Earl Bruce and the young Buckeye players. Being down 24-0 is almost like being out of a ball game, but yet Ohio State hung in there until they made things turn around their own way and got back into this ball game. Another look at the play, the intentional grounding call on Tomczak, as you see 18 Pugh, who's going from, he has his face mask. This should have been called. It should have been offsetting penalties, and the Buckeyes should have had another attempt at that big 3rd down play. Could be a big play in this ball game.
The Buckeyes not only lost yardage on that play, although Spangler didn't make the kick, they lost the down and had to kick the football because they did lose the down. The scoring drive that resulted in the field goal, 5:42 off the clock. Here comes Wilson. Nice tackle across the 20 at the 22-yard line. But Bill Harvey, a backup linebacker, is in there on the special teams unit. And the Illini will commence this drive from the 22 with 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, the challenge again will go to the Buckeye defense now. The scoring drive, 13 plays, 79 yards, 5 minutes and 42 seconds it took, ending with the 47-yard field goal by Rich Spangler.
Trudeau to Williams. Thomas Johnson smacks him immediately. A gain of about 5 on the play.
Williams makes the short catch, and he really pays for it. Thomas Johnson hits him, Leach hits him, and then Houston comes back and hits Leach, of all people.
2nd down, a long 5. This is Rooks. And he's pounded to the ground by Thomas Johnson. Thomas Johnson and Larry Kolek combined for some 35 tackles a week ago. Kolek on the sideline, shaken up early in this game. But Thomas Johnson has had a tremendous afternoon once again. Illinois has got 3rd down and 3 coming. Johnson and Ritter are your linebackers. Trudeau to pass, complete to Williams. Leach and Houston wrap him up at the 43. It's a 1st down.
Leach from his slot position is bumped by an initial Buckeye defender, but he slides in and around the coverage and works his way open. After he catches the ball, he is hit and really hit by several Buckeye defenders as they really made him pay for that catch.
Total offenses for these two teams well over 400 yards today. As Trudeau sets up, swings it out to Rooks. He stepped out of bounds. No, it's incomplete. Rooks was actually on the sideline, the white line across the way when he caught the football.
Well-conceived play as the Illini took Buckeye defenders downfield. Trudeau looks downfield. Now he'll set and stop, and he throws to Rooks in the flat. Hey, he looked like both feet were inbounds, but perhaps the official had a better look at it than I did because they simply ruled that he was out of bounds.
You're right, Paul. Looked like he caught it inbounds and then stepped out. But it's an incompletion, 2nd and 10. There's a deflection, a catch by Grant. Near 1st down yardage at the Buckeye 48. Correction, Boso, not Grant, on the receiving end for Illinois.
Cap Boso again making a clutch play. He's done it all afternoon from the short possession stuff. Ball deflected, but he concentrates well. Boso nevertheless makes the big catch for Illinois. Fred Ritter there on the stop.
Eric Cumro got a fingertip on that football, but it was still caught by Boso. Trudeau's figures are 29 for 42 for 274 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Illinois will come up short of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd and inches. Buckeyes defensively have used Houston and Lee primarily as outside linebackers today. Cumro has played some. Alders has seen action on a play or two. Kolek and Johnson started the game at linebacker. We've seen a lot of Ritter for Kolek since he was shaken up. Illinois has got a 1st down outside the Ohio State 45 with 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Jack Trudeau, who just went for the quarterback sneak, has his hands on his head, and he probably took a pretty good rap there on the head trying to gain that 1 yard that the Illini needed for the 1st down.
8 minutes even. Coach Mike White of Illinois employing 4th quarter strategy. Rooks dancing to the outside. Near 1st down yardage at the 37. Thomas Johnson on the tackle, as he has been oh so many times today. Terry White came up to support.
2 effective plays. The counter trap and this one, the draw play, have worked all afternoon for great yardage for the Illini. It works again. And Thomas Johnson makes the stop, 150 yards for Rooks, 23 rushes.
7:20 to go in the ball game. Trudeau passing on 2nd and short. He's going for the whole ball of wax. Williams is covered. He can't get it. Terry White was right on his heels as Williams ran the long post pattern. Trudeau on 2nd and inches went for 6 points.
First time today that Williams is going for a broke. This time he's running the post pattern, but he'll run right into Terry White, number 12, and also Sonny Gordon is back there, number 7. Good coverage by the Buckeye secondary.
So following the incompletion, the clock stops at 7:13. Each team has got 3 timeouts remaining. Ohio State is nursing a 3-point lead. Trudeau sneaks for the first down. He picked it up at the 35. All of a sudden, a few shadows appear on the field, a few more than we'd had before. Perhaps some portable lights went out across the way. The stadium lights at the below the upper deck were turned off. So it's a first down, Illini inside the 35. Trudeau. Wilson's open. He's to the 18-yard line. Dennis Houston caught him from behind. First down, Illinois.
Another well-conceived play as Wilson will slide underneath out of the backfield after the coverage, allows him to work his way free and makes a nice gainer on the play before being stopped by a host of Buckeye tacklers.
The Illini certainly now well within the field goal range of Chris White, but they have ideas of going for 6 first. Fine coverage applied by Thomas Johnson. Pass intended for Boso. Thomas Johnson on him range of Chris White, but they have ideas of going for 6 first. Fine coverage applied by Thomas Johnson. Pass intended for Boso. Thomas Johnson on him like a glove.
Thomas Johnson was really in his hip pocket on that play. Great job by the Buckeye middle linebacker, sitting in his position, waiting for Boso to come with him. Look at this coverage. Excellent coverage. Thomas Johnson going for the ball all the way.
Two receivers split right. Boatwright and Grant. David Williams split left. This is Rooks. He's got a hole. He's shy of a first down, about 1.5 yards. He's at the 10. It will bring up third and a little over 1. Mark Pfister and Greg Rogan on the tackle for Ohio State.
Again, Rooks has gone straight up the middle. The Illini have not gone away from that play. Every time they've needed to make positive yardage, they have gone up the middle, either on a counter trap or a draw play, and it has worked to perfection.
Giuliani in along with Morrill and Crecelius up front. The Buckeyes try to hold. This is Rooks. First down to the 7. 5 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the ballgame. Illinois pounding out the yardage on the ground and through the air, and have a first and goal at Ohio State 7. Dave Morrill on the last tackle. This game may simply boil down to which team has got possession of the football last. This is Rooks surging to the 3-yard line.
Can't really say enough about the Illinois interior offensive line. They have done a great job in blowing the Buckeyes out of there today. Thomas Rooks has gained a lot of yardage right up the middle of the Ohio State defensive line.
Chris Babyard, Jim Jariga, the right guard, right tackle for Illinois. The 250-pound center is Bob Miller. Rooks 164 yards so far today. He gets the call again, battles down to the 1-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go in the ballgame, and Illinois will have third and goal from inside the 1. Dave Crecelius managed to thwart Rooks' touchdown effort.
No deception right there, Jack. They're just simply going straight at the center of the Buckeye line, and they're pushing people back. Again, Babyard, Jariga, Miller, the center, Schultz, the left guard, all strong blockers for the Illini front wall.
Rooks, oh, he stopped.
for it, Byron Lee. Also Fred Ritter, number 90. The surge of the Ohio State line pushing Illinois back that time. Buckeyes come up with a big play.
A 17 or 18-yard field goal try by White. And it is good. Fred Ritter was also up at the top of that stack of humanity.
But Chris White calmly kicked another field goal. He kicked 5 field goals last week in the ball game, so he's a very capable kicker, and Coach Mike White will not hesitate to go to him in any situation to get the three-pointer.
3 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Each team with 3 timeouts remaining. Mike White played for the tie in that possession. He was only inches away from the end zone. I think the field goal try by Mike White, sending in his son Chris, plays up the importance of the fact that neither team can really afford a setback. A 7-1-1 record at the season's end certainly is going to beat out a 7-2 mark.
It certainly will. Buckeyes have an opportunity to control their own destiny. The Illini scoring drive, 16 plays, 78 yards. It took 6 minutes, 57 seconds. It was culminated by a 17-yard field goal by Chris White.
And Byron Lee and Fred Ritter made excellent defensive plays. Ritter was at the apex of that pile at the line of scrimmage. Perhaps he made first contact with Rooks. And that forced the Illinois field goal. Tie game, 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go. We see Wooldridge and Holland back deep to take the kickoff for Ohio State. Jamie Holland on the far side, Wooldridge the near side. And White twists it down into the end zone. The Buckeyes will initiate this drive at the 20-yard line. They've got 3 timeouts remaining.
It is important for the Buckeyes to move this ball the length of the field, to use as much of the clock as possible, and to either go for the field goal or the 6-pointer with no clock, with no time left on the clock. Both offenses have operated under maximum efficiency today.
Total offense for these two teams, almost 1,000 yards combined. Tomczak down the middle for Carter. Illinois was right on Carter's back.
A little bit of a surprise opening with a pass play. Tomczak looking for Carter. However, he is covered by number 27, Dave Edwards, strong safety. It looks like for a moment that Carter has this football, but Evans strips him of the football. Big play for the Illini.
Second down and 10 Buckeyes. 3 minutes, 11 seconds to go, fourth quarter. This is Byers blasting for a first down. Fumble, but the ball is ruled dead. Ohio State possession. The ground could not cause a fumble.
Excellent call by the official. Hand off to Byers. He scoots up through the hole, getting a block from 44 Cooper. Now he's off to the races. Hit by number 27 Edwards. Byers will lose the football after his elbow strikes the surface. So the officials were right on the spot. It was a great call.
And a big gain by Byers. An Illinois player perhaps shaken up around midfield. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the ball game. Each team with 3 timeouts left. What an afternoon for Keith Byers. 245 yards on 32 rushes, 4 touchdowns. senior cornerback for Illinois, is on his back near the 50-yard line. A physically played football game, and it's taking its toll. Buckeyes lost linebacker Larry Kolick earlier. Buckeyes have got 3 timeouts left, Paul. This gives them a little bit of a breather, and I think both teams need it. I think both teams are pretty well spent.
Both teams have really played a tremendous ball game and have exerted a lot of energy out there today.
In fact, it looks like Keith Byers will not be in on this next play.
All right, the end of the Byers run, the ball strikes the surface. It's hit heaven, number 9, trying to get that football, and a lot of bodies are piled up, and he gets hurt on the play.
This is Johnny Woolridge with running room to the 50. Guy Tiefentiller on the tackle.
Johnny Woolridge did a nice piece of running on his own as number 15, John Ayers, came across him, but he sidestepped him, got to the outside, got as much yardage as he possibly could have gotten under the circumstance, and then was shoved out of bounds.
Mark Karowitz is now out for the Buckeyes, who have employed Maggs and Graves at the 2 tackle spots on 2nd and 2. Byers first down, upended at the 46. David Edwards on the hit. First down, Buckeyes. 2:48 now left. 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Each team with 3 timeouts to go. Score tied at 38.
Buckeyes using the clock real well. They don't want to score in a hurry. They'll have to keep that in mind, though.
Just an incredible football game. Ohio State seemingly out of it early. Tom Zach on the option. Woolridge. Johnny Woolridge averaging nearly 7 yards a carry coming into the game today. Scurried down the near sideline for about a 5-yard gainer.
Mike Tomczak running the option play, fake to Cooper, going down the sideline, dealing the ball off to John Woolridge, who gets around the corner, turns upfield, tight ropes, gets as much yardage as he can before going out of bounds.
Lanise and Smith are your wide receivers on 2nd and 5. George Cooper, the blocking back for Byers, who has the first down.
Big hole in the left side of the line, and Keith Byers going behind 74 Zielinski. Now he'll muscle his way for the additional yardage.
The 33 of Illinois, 1st and 10 Buckeyes, 2:12 to go, 4th quarter. Byers. At the 27-yard line, a gain of 6 more, under 2 minutes to go. Byers with over 250 yards rushing the football today. 2nd down and 4. 2nd and 4 for Byers and the Buckeyes. 1:42 to go in the game. Woolridge now in behind Cooper. Woolridge gets the call. Johnny Woolridge to the 9.
Starts left. It's all clogged up. He finds an opening to his right. He's on his way. However, number 27, Edwards, reaches out, pulls him down. Almost a touchdown. John Woolridge now 53 yards on 8 rushes.
Another Illinois secondary person has left. Shaken up. Ayers is out. Buckeyes making some wholesale changes. Lanise and Carter and Woolridge are on the sideline.
with Keith Byers. Good blocking at the point of attack by 44 Cooper. Now watch Byers as he does it on his own. Simply overpowers the defenders and gets more yardage. Ground level shot now. Here comes Byers as he'll blast up into the hole. As you see, white-shirted Illini players coming out of the pack. Byers forging ahead for a first down right at about the 2-yard line, 2 or 3-yard line.
Illinois utilizing a timeout just seconds ago. They've got 2 left. That could be critical should they get the ball back.
This drive is taking so much time off the clock. Illinois will have to have the ability to strike very quickly if they do get the football.
George Cooper, number 44, is in the Ohio State backfield. He's seen considerable action here in the 4th period. A big 6'2", 234-pounder from Wyandotte, New York. Cooper, 44, has been providing some big interference for Woolridge and Byers in this drive. Buckeyes holding hands in the huddle as this game comes right down to the wire. It's a photo finish. 58 seconds to go. Byers, who else? Maybe a half a yard, no more. Buckeyes will have to utilize some timeouts. Clock is ticking, 48-47. Illinois has signaled timeout. The football resting right in the middle of the field. Illinois down to 1 timeout. You get the feeling, Paul, that Mike White is saying, well, it's do or die for us. If we get the ball back, there are just going to be a few ticks left.
And he wants to be able to make the best of the few ticks that will be left. He wants something to be left on the clock. He had to wisely call a timeout in that situation because Ohio State simply would have taken as much time off the clock as possible.
Remember, last year, the Illini scored last. They went over 80 yards in some 30 seconds, beat the Buckeyes 17-13. Illinois is not going to have many more seconds than 30 remaining when and if they do get the ball back.
If they do stop the Buckeyes, they will call a timeout immediately again to stop the clock one more time to give them as much time on the clock as possible.
Rich Spangler won the game between these two teams 2 years ago with a field goal when the score was tied at 21. Spangler may be a key man before it's all over with. But right now the Buckeyes have got one more offensive thrust left.
The Buckeyes can put it in the end zone. That will practically close Illinois out. Not exactly, but the Illini will have to go the complete length of the field and score a touchdown just to tie. Or possibly put them in a position to win if they go for the 2-pointer.
Byers turning the corner.
Simply outruns, the coverage cuts back, gets hit at the goal line, but that's not stopping him as he's still on his feet, gets into the end zone. Keith Byers, 5 touchdowns on the day. What a performance.
36 seconds to go following Keith Byers' touchdown romp around left end. Spangler with the point after. It is up and good.
Snap on the placement, but that was a very important extra point. Now, Illinois must go the entire length of the field. They must score by a touchdown, and they'll have to go for the 2 extra points. All right. We're going to take a look at that extra point shortly. And then Mike Lanise will get a high snap. He gets it down, good order. Spangler goes through it, gets it up and through the uprights. That was an important extra point for the Buckeyes.
Mike Lanise did a tremendous job throwing his pair of hands up in the air and securely grabbing that snap from center. Spangler tacked on the point. Buckeyes lead by 7 following Byers' touchdown.
Here's the big touchdown. Keith Byers, he just simply gets off to the races, gets a block by Cooper, cuts back on the 1 defender. Taggart, number 54, tries to bring him down and about the goal line, but can't stop him. And the scoring drive, 11 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 42 seconds, ending with Keith Byers' 5th touchdown of the day, a 3-yard run.
Keith Byers in simply an incredible one-game exhibition. The Buckeye team with just a tremendous performance. The Buckeyes down 24-0 have roared back the last 3 quarters, 36 seconds away from victory. Keep in mind, Illinois last year went 8+ in 37 seconds to win that game. The kick is a very high one. Good hang time. Wilson at the 2. Wilson met solidly across the 20-yard line. Mark Pfister was there. Joe Jenkins belted him.
Here's Wilson taking the kick. He will start up the middle looking for an opening. He is met by Pfister, and then 35, Joe Jenkins. Very solid hit by Jenkins.
32 seconds to go. Illinois has just 1 timeout left. Trudeau. Up the sideline. It is complete, out of bounds. Grant on the catch, stopping the clock at 26 seconds. Randy Grant hauled it in, and he put a halt to the scoreboard clock. 26 ticks left. Last year, Illinois didn't use more than 1 timeout in going some 80 yards for the touchdown. They've got a single timeout left. That may be all they need.
Well, the Illini have shown the capability in the past to move the ball the length of the field in a very short period of time, and Jack Trudeau has his team moved and headed in the right direction right now.
Trudeau with plenty of time. Down he goes. Byron Lee.
Great play by Jack Trudeau. He's a right-handed passer, and Byron Lee puts the heat on him. He'll switch hands and got the ball away to a receiver in the area to save an intentional grounding. What a play by Jack Trudeau.
Byron Lee nearly had a quarterback sack, but miraculously, the quarterback Trudeau avoided the grounding call and got away an incompletion to stop the clock at 17 seconds. This is Trudeau down the middle for Williams. Almost intercepted. 12 seconds to go. Sonny Gordon was there. Terry White was there. The intercept would have secured the victory. Still the Buckeyes just 12 seconds away.
Almost a big play for the Buckeyes. Number 98, Thomas Johnson, will tip this ball very slightly, deflecting it. Sonny Gordon and other defenders coming up in the area can't quite pick up the tip football.
Trudeau, 10 seconds to go, 9, 8. This pass is too high, incomplete. 6 seconds to go. William White on the coverage. Nearly 90,000 on their feet here at Ohio Stadium. 6 seconds remaining.
There are your 3 receivers on one side for the Illinois, flooding an area, trying to find an opening. Not very much that's open, however, as Grant tries to come come up with the catch, but he's well covered.
Mike White has reached deeply into his playbook to come up with perhaps the final play of the game. 6 seconds to go. This is the ball on the 40-yard line. It's also a 4th down. Last chance for Illinois, and White throwing for David Williams. It is broken up. It's all over.
All right, Williams, number 1, has been the key man in the Illinois attack. Trudeau picks him out on this particular play, throws it high, deep to Hail Mary. However, Williams is well covered by 3 Buckeye defenders, and the fine play by Sonny Gordon, who goes up high to bat the ball away. Incompletion.
And pandemonium reigns here at Ohio Stadium. Fires 39 carries, 274 yards. He paces the Buckeyes to a tremendous come-from-behind victory. Many thanks to our spotter, Jim Henderson, Steve Bassford on stats, Joe Kitzel, our floor manager. A brief comment from Paul Warfield.
Character is one word. The Buckeyes hung in there. They came back. A great win for Ohio State.
So for Paul Warfield, Jack Kramer saying so long from Ohio Stadium. The Buckeyes have defeated Illinois 45-38.